Just thank you very much for recognizing that with us. Bonk, hope you're doing good today. Thanks for being first as always. We just been hanging out, having a cozy morning. Popped over to the Italian deli to grab some buns and snacks today. Set ourselves up for success for the week. Hello, Vanicor, how's it going? They can see me. Welcome in. Thank you, Nightwalker, as well. And hi, Boss Man. You're not even late today. I'm so proud of you. How many years now? That's what I was asking Sam. And what did you say? 4?
4.
He says 4. I'll go with that. It's hard for me to keep track of things after all these years, honestly, but it's been a long time. So let's say if it's been 4 years, we got it in 2020 and we started streaming in 2018. So it took us about 2 years of consistently creating content on this platform and like finding people to collaborate and get recognized with until we got to this point. And I'm so proud of us for still getting to that point and still being here all together too, right? Hi, Rockout Guy. Grab some buns, chat. You heard it here first. I was like, how many buns do we need, Samo? I think we're only going to make 2 sandwiches today. But then we stocked up a bit because they're just so good. It's like, I think the best way to describe it is like maybe a sub bun / Portuguese roll. Just absolutely delicious. Crusty on the outside, fluffy in the inside. And yeah, they make those fresh every single morning. And like, how much are they per piece? I think it's like 13 cents or something a piece. You honestly can't beat that. Crazy good deals. And like, we were there, I don't know if they haven't refreshed, but I'm pretty sure they had already stocked it up for the day. Like, half of the buns were already gone, guys, when we were there like 15 minutes after opening. If you know, you know. It's one of those things. Mickey, welcome in. You did a good chicken roast today for dinner. Love it. Sunday roast, especially like when it starts to get cold out. Come in clutch, especially if there's leftovers to set yourself up for lunches. Lauren, she says, Lurk, have a wonderful Sunday, guys. I'm heading over to have dessert. Why is it in quotations? Is it not dessert? At your mom's house. Right? Half of the buns are already gone 15 minutes after opening. That's crazy. You made the chicken with thick gravy. Numb. Was there leftovers too? Okay, and then if you guys missed yesterday, because I know it's getting into a busy season, we finished our wreath on stream. This is Lego up here. And a successful hanging spot. It did not fall in the middle of the night and scare the heck out of us. So far, so good. So yeah, if you missed that, it was last Sunday we started it, and then yesterday we finished it, and Samo did a bit of cooking on stream. Mom just texted your dad and you, Sunday, 2 p.m., dessert at my house. I wish I got text messages like that. That sounds amazing. The wreath is Lego, yeah. Do you need me to bring it down, Wilson? I'll have to go get my little step stool. 1 sec. It's so dang cool. If you do ! Lego in chat, I actually did put a link to it. I think for you guys in the States, Dust posted in Discord, it was around $100. But it's a pretty cool set because you can make the wreath like this, and there's a couple different like berries and stuff that you can choose. Or if you want to switch it up, you can turn it into like a table garland and make it long instead of round.
The Christmas tree, the wreath, poinsettia, and the old Christmas wreath are all on sale right now on Amazon.
Hello there, everyone. I don't know why I did that, but this is what it looks like. And yeah, we chose like to have the blue and red little berries on there, the orange slices, little pine cones, cinna sticks. It's so freaking nice. And you can see like it's not a small set. It was over 1,000 pieces. Okay, now let's somehow put it back up without breaking it. It's a trap. It just like sits on those two little handles there. Hopefully I can get it in the same spot-ish. Back away. We're safe. We're good. Thanks, friends. Welcome in. Yet it is. And Michael, hi, hi. Everyone's having a good day. We got about, I would say like 6 to maybe 8 inches of snow total yesterday, depending on where you were around the city. Still no snowplows have come out yet. I said, what the heck is going on, chat? So we had fun like ripping around in the deep snow this morning, just driving like 5 minutes down the block. Okay, let's get into what we're making today. I think it's going to be a really fun stream. And I guess the first thing I'll ask is who in here right now possibly watched the TV show on Hulu, The Bear, which is about like working in restaurants and stuff like that. Because we are going to be cooking a couple dishes from that series today. You never get that much snow, and then down south in our province, it was like over a foot. So like easily like that much. So much. Any Christmas shopping done yet? I'm not really a Christmas shopper anymore as I've gotten older. I'm not a big like consumption person other than maybe Lego. But yeah, I choose to often just make my Christmas gifts from scratch, whether it's baking or maybe this year I'll switch it up and try like candles. I don't know yet. But yeah, often I'll just make Christmas gifts and give it that way. I feel like it's just more heartfelt. That's what I got. But I do like receiving gifts as well, whether they're homemade or bought. I know everyone does stuff different too. What about you guys? Are you getting into Christmas? I know Mary, if she pops in today, she's been done since like the end of October, which I think is so dang impressive. Get it done early. I don't know, Rocco guy. There's no snowplows. Nope, they don't exist anymore. We are here to fend for ourselves. Your brother, Mark. Okay, listen to this, guys. Lauren's brother made a knife to be used on the show. And she said brother, but she also actually just meant uncle. Lauren's uncle made a knife for the show. How cool is that? So you've not seen it, but you heard good things about it. You heard it was wild. So none of you have really even watched it. We'll say the first, how many seasons were there, Sam? 3 only? Or 4?
3.
So the first 2 seasons were really good. And then we actually stopped watching the 3rd season. Just like the storyline kind of went away from what I guess we liked to watch it for and got a little bit repetitive, I found. So yeah, I got bored and stopped watching it. But the first 2 seasons are phenomenal if you want like a little look into how restaurants can, I would say, like sometimes work. It depends on where you work, right? And like who's running the place, stuff like that. Worked in some crazy places, and I've also worked in some awesome places. But yeah, the show does a really good depiction on like how tough it is to work in restaurants with like a lot of different people that come from different places in the world too. Would recommend. We are going to watch the video from YouTube that I linked from Maddie Matheson. If I just say Maddie, some of you might not know. Yeah, we'll watch that maybe after we get the donut dough proofing and then the beef braising in the oven. Then we have a little bit of time. So Maddie Matheson was also on the show, guys, which I didn't know at first when we started watching it. So that was a really fun surprise. And he is all through the seasons. Nothing happens to his character. So I think it's pretty cool that he popped onto his YouTube channel and gave us recipes to cook the dishes that we see being made in the show. So the basis of the show is like around this restaurant where they had a family member pass away, but it was based off of the Chicago beef sandwich. The restaurant was originally called The Original Beef, and then they started to like switch it up into more of a fine dining restaurant. So it shows you the behind the scenes of like how they convert everything, testing the dishes, coming up with menus, hiring staff, literally everything to like open a restaurant. Okay, I think that was a good depiction of it. You have anything to add, Sam?
Nope.
Perfect. Lauren says her uncle is really talented. Hope to buy one of his knives one day, but they're expensive. If you want to link his site, if he has anything like that, feel free to link it in chat. I know we have some people that really like to buy kitchen knives too. Eddie the Erudite, thanks for the follow, and also saying thanks, happy happy partner anniversary. Okay, our 2 recipes for the day. I don't know if anyone posted menu in chat. I was doing a lot of talking. So Chicago beef style sandwich, braised tri-tip with peppers. There's a jardinera, so think like a mixed pickled veggies. And then just some cheese on top. So really simple, right? And then we'll stuff it into that yummy bun. So the recipe I linked is a YouTube video from Maddie, but he does post the entire recipe just in the description for us. So I will follow that. And then on, I think it's the 7th episode from season 1, the pastry chef gets like super obsessed with making the most perfect jelly filled donut, or jam filled, I should say. And he kind of gets himself into trouble because the chef owner and the sous chef are like kind of freaking out about things not working out in the restaurant. And he's just like kind of hiding in the pastry area, focusing on donuts. And like he gets yelled at so bad when they're like in the middle of an argument. And he's like, I really need you guys to taste my donut right now. And they're like, are you joking me? And yeah, he just gets yelled at. So I thought that was a funny episode. Also, I just love donuts. So I thought we would make it today because we haven't done that in a while. I did find an article from the actor that plays the role. And he kind of talks about that episode. So maybe later when we get into the donuts, we'll do a little read through with that today. Hi, Mary. I was talking about you. Welcome in. Someone was asking if I did any Christmas shopping yet. And I was saying I don't often go shopping. I just make my stuff from scratch and then give it out. But I said that you already completed yours a long time ago. Right? Donuts are always good. I don't know if I've like made a jelly or jam filled one at home. So we're gonna make the filling from scratch too. I'm gonna do strawberry and cherry, just really simple. You just have to cook it down on the stove a little bit with some sugar and lemon. Okay, let's get our little prep list, get into what we have to do, and away we go. I don't think this stream is gonna take much longer than about 3 hours. I know Sundays we usually do quick and easy, but we kind of switched it up. I was tired yesterday after my event on Friday. There's no way I could have stood for like 4 hours. So we just played Lego yesterday instead. Okay, so first things first, I think that we will make the dough for the donuts. It's a yeast dough, so you do need to give it time to rise. Usually if you're using yeast in a baking recipe, you do need to give yourself about 2.5 to 3 hours total until it will be finished. So that is the longest process. And then in between that, we will prep our yummy looking tri-tip that I had waiting for us in the freezer. It looks so nice and marbled. Yes, it's kind of brown after coming out of the freezer and thawing, but don't worry. So we'll sear that up and get it braising in the oven, and then that gets like sliced once it's tender and gets put into the sandwich roll with some peppers, the pickled veggies, and some cheese on top. And then you like dip it in the broth, let's say, from what it braised in. Ugh. It's like a beef dip, Philly cheesesteak style thing. Has anyone in here had a Chicago beef sandwich? I've never been to Chicago, but it looks really yummy. Okay, donuts. make the dough. And then after we make the dough, it usually has to proof for around an hour on the counter. It needs to double in size. And then from there, we divide our donuts. We're just gonna make round donuts today. I wasn't planning on cutting any out because they have to be piped and filled with the fruit jam inside. You've been there, Wilson, but you haven't had one. Shoot. Really have to pay attention to the grain on a tri-tip. If you don't, you'll end up with strings of meat. I have been watching that bonk on like the different cuts because this is a newer cut that I have been buying. So like when I was slicing it up for the Thai stir fry, really important that we didn't go with the grain. And then it looks like this might have to be cut a little bit different before we braise it too. But they're not super thick, so it's not like we're gonna end up with really, really long strands of beef. I think that will be okay, but I totally understand what you mean. Like sometimes they cut tri-tip different where like you'll literally have a strand of meat like this long if you're not careful with it. So good point. Bonk nose. That's where they cook a lot of tri-tip. Yeah, right. Yet it is. We haven't had this sandwich, but we would like to eat one. It seems so simple, and like the ingredients didn't cost very much to buy either for it, so I think it's gonna be good. Okay, donuts. Make the dough, let it rise an hour, divide it, and then we have to set up like a little deep fry station for it. Frying donuts is, I would say, like one of the least scary things to deep fry, honestly. They don't really splatter up. Nothing from the dough makes the oil really dirty either. So for me, it's one of my favorite things to deep fry at home. And like it doesn't make the house smell gross either. Like sometimes if you deep fry meat for a long time, like the house just smells like that for days after. But donuts just make it smell like a bakery. So I'm into that. And then obviously we have to make our strawberry cherry filling. And then we need it in a piping bag. One thing I've noticed, because sometimes we buy donuts as well from the same place that we got the buns from, sometimes when they fill the donuts, it's only on one side. It's like you're biting into the filled donut and there's nothing. And then all of a sudden on the one half, it's like so filled that it's like falling apart in your hand. So just a note to think about when you do fill the donut, like kind of feel as you're filling it. I'll show you guys later. It's always kind of fun as an adventure. It's like, when am I going to find the filling? But at the same time, it's like, well, where's half of the filling that I paid for, right? At least that's how I feel. Maybe I'm a bit too picky about donuts. Okay, our Italian beef. Let's write this down. So I was reading through the recipe earlier just to get myself situated. And this was actually from 2 years ago already, was when this episode aired. And then actually in his recipe, he used top sirloin or top round, but I did look it up first what cuts of beef can be used in a Chicago beef sandwich, and they said actually tri-tip was one of the best. So I said, I'm gonna use that for that. There's some dried spices like dried oregano, garlic, onion, basil, chili flakes, obviously salt and pepper for the beef, a little bit of oil just to get it seared before we braise it. That's an important step. And then just in the pot with the beef, some beef stock, garlic, carrot, onion, mirepoix if you want. And then it only cooks for an hour, which I thought was like such a nice quick thing. Or it said until it reaches about 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So it doesn't even get like cooked for a long time. So let's write that down. We'll put sear, braise. Maybe I'll put like 45 minutes so we can check it. And then you just let that cool a bit. You'll take the meat out of the braising liquid. Let it cool just a little bit so it doesn't fall right apart when you cut it. And then we are going to add the peppers into the jus after we strain everything out of it, like the onion, carrot, garlic, stuff like that. So then we're going to cook the peppers in the jus. So those are going to soak up the beef and all of the other aromatic flavors that were in there. So that won't take very long. And then, yeah, you just return the beef back into the jus to heat it up, kind of with some tongs. Grab some peppers, pile that into your bun. It is going to get sloppy, I think. And then we can cover it in cheese. This recipe doesn't have cheese with it, but I saw a lot of other ones did, and I thought that would be really yummy. That is that report. Hi, Dust. Thanks for that. I know it is rough news, right? Thank you for bringing up the Torino thing. I didn't know really how to. I know it's a tough thing for some people, but I'm also just like happy that that is something that we are aware of and that we all care about, because we are a tight-knit community. I will say that Misha and I were talking yesterday, and we're both like excited because he shared his bannock recipe in Discord before he left us. So we'll have to make that up on stream one day, because I've always wanted to make bannock anyways. We'll do it in his honor. Maybe next weekend, guys. Hi, Chef. How's it going? Welcome in. Mish, good to see you today. I hope your Sunday is going good. A dedication stream, right? Our favorite crazy Canadian uncle. Okay, guys. If you want to keep talking, by all means, I'm not going to hold you guys back from that. Okay, let the beef cool. Do the peppers, let's say. Heat the beef back in there. Pile it up and cheese it, and then eat it. Perfect. Right? We gotta just take it day by day. That is all we can do as human beings. Okay, let's open up this donut dough recipe and get it mixing. Tasty, tasty water bits. Jam donuts. I've never made a recipe from this site, but when I Googled recipes from the Bear TV show, there was like a cool site that made an article of like all of the dishes they make and recipes linked with it. So I just used that. Sounds like it's a very good recipe. It looks good, honestly. Oh, scroll, scroll, scroll. What are we gonna get? 16 donuts? Are we okay with this? Holy! 2 donuts a day for the next week? What? We're committing. I don't even care. Ooh, that would be fun, Mish, because I know that we've done that once for him already. One of his redemptions, we made so much Ukrainian food, and like Sam loved it, right? When we did that. Sam will be okay with that. Yeah, Bonk knows. It's okay, Dust. I was asking in chat before you came in if anybody has watched this show, and it sounds like nobody else has. So I'm sorry that you don't get any of the references. But seriously, watch it. It's on Hulu, or just download it. It's good. I said the first 2 seasons were the best. Third one kind of dropped off for us. Let us know if you do watch it the whole way through. Maybe something fun to binge on when it gets cooler out. Yeah, Mickey, don't think you get the show in the UK. I guess unless you use a VPN or something like that, you could. That's about the only option. Yeah, his and hers donuts for the next 8 days. We are set to go. Okay, so Deep fried, jam filled, sugar crusted treats. These are the donuts of my childhood and the ultimate grown up indulgence. So, prep time, like I said, 2.5 hours. A lot of that is hands off, right? The dough is just rising in that time. Cook time, 15 minutes. That's it. If you didn't want to deep fry these, she did give instructions at the bottom of the page to bake them, but she does say it turns out more like kind of a heavier, dense style bun than it does when you deep fry it in the hot oil to really get it steaming and puffy and fluffy. But you do have that option. Okay, so we need yeast, flour, salt, milk, butter. She uses honey, eggs, some vanilla, and then just our oil to fry, some sugar for the outside, or if you want powdered sugar, that's good too. And then we need about 250 to 300 grams of jam or whatever you like to fill donuts with. Today we're doing jam, but you can do Nutella, dulce de leche, custard, all sorts of yummy things. Baked would be, yeah, I guess, hey, like more like a cake donut. But sometimes cake donuts are like quite crumbly, right? Versus yeast donut. I am intrigued though. Maybe we'll bake a couple just to see. Might not hurt. Okay, we'll get our mixer out. We have to warm a few things up, like the milk, get the butter melted into stuff. And then it does have to mix for about 10 minutes. I love yeast donuts. I know they're definitely not the best for us, but my goodness, every now and then, it is such a treat. It is such a treat. And I'm going to leave this beef out on the counter behind so it can warm up a little bit while we're prepping this dough, because we're getting into that next. What's your guys' favorite filling in a donut? I think mine is usually, like, if it's jam, probably strawberry. Or I'm always down for, like, a really good Boston cream. Lemon, yes. Ooh, if it's, like, tart and sweet, right? Probably just be one of those things where I say, it kind of depends on how I'm feeling that day. Yes. Maple glazed bars when they actually use like proper maple. Holy shnikey. I think we have to use the scale for this stuff today, which I'm not mad about. That means it'll turn out really good. I mean, my fave, if there's some Canadians in here from Tim Hortons back in the day, was the Boston Cream Supreme. When they just filled it with straight up like whipped cream. Oh, so good. But then they eventually got rid of them and I was so dang sad. I just made the mistake of plugging into the one plug by accident.
Don't do that.
I made the mistake. I didn't mean to. Remember when that happened the one stream, guys? Unplugged the one thing from the plug and the whole stream went bye-bye. Or yeah, I even just plugged it in. That's true. Kat, it's good to see you. How is school and everything going? Are you almost done for the holidays? Blueberry cake donuts. Did they make Timbits with blueberries in them and then just glazed? Yeah. Those were so good too. Like an apple fritter, but with blueberries. What the heck? It's true dust, glazed sour cream, or even just a simple cruller. If those are made right, they like blow your mind with the texture and flavor. Right? Don't even get me started on apple fritters. The best one I've ever had doesn't even exist in Canada. It lives somewhere between where? Washington and Oregon? Or Iowa? Idaho? But straight up, guys, like we just stumbled into the best apple fritter of our life. I'm glad you guys are as serious about donuts as we are. Okay, I do still have to get the mixing bowl for us. Sour cream donuts are to die for. Right? Because you guys know I don't like anything too sweet as well. Numb. That is actually something I would legitimately, like, if somebody asked me if they, like, bought me a donut shop, if I would run it, 1,000%. I would be set for the rest of my life. I would be so happy to make donuts every day. It's one of my faves. I think I was really high. When was that? What are you talking about? You're not believing my story? It was on a road trip.
Oh, the apple fritter one?
Yeah.
No, that was definitely real.
What's the opinion on Krispy Kreme? They're good. I don't know, not the greatest though. Like, I think I would prefer to just get a donut from our bakery down the street because I really like their flavor of yeasted dough. But when we do see Krispy Kremes every now and then up here, we get them. Okay, we need flour, the honey from over there, and some vanilla.
It came from there.
Sam posted the link to the best apple fritter from a grocery, or not groceries, from a gas station.
Don't believe me? Look for the red shop.
Why is there sounds being happening over here? Did you hear that? Straight up, I'm clicking on the link. I have to. There's a bridge right after it. Yep.
I saved it, don't worry.
You're the best, Samo. Crossroads truck stop. The apple fritter is like as big as your face or bigger. It took us, what, 2 days to eat it all?
Yeah,
Howdy doodly, neighbor. Simo, I haven't seen you in forever. Have you been A-okay? We're getting into making donuts and we're getting carried away with the chatting part. Or at least I am. I need to get to the mixing part. So we have to combine our yeast with 50 mils of some warm water. Just gonna put it in there. And then we gotta heat up a little bit of milk and then get our butter and honey ready. So it's all about waking up the yeast right now. It says 7 grams worth. I'll switch this up. The time is now. It's like out in the middle of nowhere on the border. I didn't say it was easy to get to. I just said it was simply the best apple fritter we've ever had. Did I see an Annie in here? An Annie on the other side of my mixer. I gotta like tippy toe to see over it in chat. Yay! Gotta catch up on the grading today, so I will be lurking. Well, I appreciate your lurk, and please make sure you take lots of breaks during grading. Simo went to 2 countries in 10 days on 2 different trips. What are these countries and what were you doing? Also, Mish, thank you for the 1 bit. I'm gonna go grab some containers to measure stuff into. And then away we go. Okay, I'll grab that one from the dishwasher. Are we good? I think we're good. We're gonna do grams. Your taste for sweets has gone down, so it helps mitigate it. Me too, as I get older. I really used to have like quite a good sweet tooth. Mostly for like ice cream, I would say, though not like too much pastries. Hello? Are we gonna get to 7 grams? We're gonna pour and it's gonna be like 13. There's no way that that's only 3 grams.
It is.
Impossible. The whole container's only 113. I need help. Help, chat. If I go with the amount of yeast, because if I show you guys, it's like 2 tablespoons of yeast. I'm gonna take a little bit out and go with about a tablespoon worth. That's what is typically used in a dough recipe like this. If you go too much yeast, it will not taste that good. Okay, that is what I'm going with. I need a smaller scale, even smaller than this if I want to be super accurate. Something that doesn't weigh very much like this is like the bane of my existence to weigh. That's what I usually would leave in like a teaspoon measurement. Because as you guys can see, it does not measure that accurately. Okay, so now we just need 50 mils of some warm water to wake this up. If we look at a measuring cup here, let's do the quarter cup measure. Well, this is 60 mils, so we'll just do a little bit less than full and get that going. And we want lukewarm water. Not too hot, not too cold. And then it does say to just mix it together in a small container first because there's not that much water, and then let it foam up from there. And then after this, we'll measure out the milk. Wilson, you don't eat a lot of sweets, but you drink them. That sounds like Samo. Samo likes his soda treats every now and then. Okay, don't get too hot on the water. You went to New Zealand for the Coldplay concert? That is definitely a group that I would love to see live. I hope it was amazing. Just from some videos I've seen online of their past concerts, looks like it would be. Okay, so not quite full into the yeast. And it's nice and warm. We'll just give it a swirl. Might need a little spoon. I can see it's stuck in the corner there. Give it a swish around. Did the scale tear correctly? It did tear correctly. I kind of had a feeling it was gonna measure it like that, just from experience in the past, bonk. Doesn't even look like it's enough water to dissolve the yeast, but maybe we'll dissolve it more with the milk. So next, yes, Wilson, what I was taught is 95 Fahrenheit to 110, but I often don't go as hot as 110 Fahrenheit for making yeast stuff. So now we need 200 milliliters of milk. Remember when I always say that when you use milk in a bread recipe, it makes it really nice and soft. So yes, we want that for our donuts. Annie, that's a terrible idea. He's here still, chat. You drink lots of fruit drinks? Yes, I do love eating sweets in the form of fruit. So now I'm gonna go over and warm that up slowly in the microwave with like 20-second increments. Next, I'm gonna grab out our 2 large eggs. Let's see how this is. So same temp with the milk as the water. So I usually just come give it like a little swirl with my finger. Yeah, it is still cold. So I'll do another 20 seconds. But I try not to get it too hot because then we have to wait for it to cool down again. Now back to the work grind to push until Christmas. It's your busiest period from November to February. I think a lot of places are like that. It gets real quiet around this time. People are just like focused on getting stuff done before the end of the year. You can go maybe 10 more seconds. It is just barely warm. Then we need 50 grams of butter. And then we'll want to get that nice and softened too. So now that I have the milk, just do one more check. Yeah, that feels good. At a good temp, I'm going to pour it into the mixer and with the yeast and the water. So it looks like the yeast is having a little bit of a hard time dissolving in that small amount. I'll just show you. Like, it is getting kind of puffy. It'll be happier in there. And then when we add the honey, I always say when you add sugar to yeast, it's like when you have coffee in the morning. Just wakes you up a bit quicker and makes you more active. But there's a bit of sugar in milk, right? So that's why this is going to be helpful. Okay. Butter. Can she do it? 50 grams. Maybe I should use a clean container just in case. Stay. What? I'm just gonna go with that. Cut like a little nub off. Guys, don't even mess with me. Honestly. First cut? Like, come on. Although I do know it is what you expect after all these years. So using lactose-free milk would mean having to add some sugar to feed the yeast. I mean, most bread recipes add sugar anyways. But I guess? Bonk? Would it work like that? I've never used lactose-free milk in baking before. But I'm gonna go with yes. Okay, soften that one up now. Same amount of time, like 20 seconds or so. And then let's get a spatula to scrape that out. We still need salt. Can't forget that. Bring the honey over next. Kat, you're at 47K pots and pans. You're close. That's good. We crossed off a bunch a few weeks ago. I like when you guys redeem those because it helps me not always have to think about what to make different. Do you already have something in mind? I do notice that, Bonk, because my clients use lactose-free milk too. And the expiry date on that is like forever. It kind of blows my mind. Okay, so we can add the butter right in there. It's a-okay. Just make sure it's not too hot. You don't want to like scald the yeast. And then next, we got our honey over here. If you put the honey into the butter container, it shouldn't stick too much. And then you have honey butter. It is 3 tablespoons. They say runny honey. So we will do a little heat on that too, I guess. I'm gonna stop there actually. That was enough. Why does honey taste so good? The elixir of life. Kat says, what's the candlelit dinner reward? Do I get to have a candlelit dinner with us? Yeah. We would like set it up as a video call somehow. I think that would be so fun. You still have to do it? Did he redeem his points?
Yeah. But then the hurricane and the other things happened.
Liquid honey, or as they said, Remy honey. And then can you guys see here the yeast is like pushing up? It's exploding. It's doing exactly what it should do actually. This got a bit warm, so I'm gonna let it sit for a moment. We're gonna crack our eggs over into this container while we wait. And then I think it's just the flour, salt, and a little bit of vanilla if we want. I don't often put vanilla into the dough, but since we are making like sweet donuts, that could be good. Two large eggs. We'll whip those before we add them so it mixes evenly. And then the only other thing I see on here is they use 2 different types of flour. One is strong white, one is plain white. I'm just gonna use one called all-purpose. Sound like that? Whip it up. Seen a TikTok video the other day. Someone was using Cool Whip. I think it was actually Levi and William. And he said it like that, Cool Whip. And everyone in the comments was like, why is he saying it like that? What is wrong with this guy? Cool Whip. Yeah, you gotta start with the H. Bonk nose. Okay, dump this stuff in. Sugar's going in. Espresso for the yeast. Ooh wee. I've never made donut dough with honey in it either. Wonder if it's gonna taste a little floral. Eggs. 3 tablespoons. With the fruit. That'll be good. Okay. Almost there. Not gonna start that just yet. Gotta dry off one of these rectangles so I can measure out the flour. I think like making donuts at home is fun and all, but with the amount of effort and the stuff that it does take, going to a bakery that charges like $1 per donut, you can't beat that. So like I kind of understand why a lot of people don't make donuts at home. But I was gonna say, like, not all cheap donuts are good, but then also at the same time, not all of the $5 per piece donuts are good either. So it's really about trying a bunch of different spots until you find like your style of donut that you like. For our flours, we need 500 grams total. You don't mind them, Bonk, the Krispy Kremes? They're just small. I feel you on that. I've definitely gotten away from going to like the boutique kind of donut shops. Although maybe we got a little bit ruined being in Vancouver for a while, because there was one place there that was like unreal.
Lucky.
Yeah, Lucky's Donuts. Okay, done with the scale finally, guys, and then we can plug the mixer in. So that's our flour. I left the container open just in case we do need more flour. And then we still just gotta add the salt, and then this is gonna mix for about 10 minutes. So while that goes, just start cleaning up the mess that we made. Mickey, you're doing some shopping after you had a glass of wine just now? I like it. Don't hold back. We used to actually have a friend that we worked with. Remember JC? We did some catering for a bit in Vancouver. And there's one guy we worked with, his stories after the days off. I had so many glasses of wine, then I did some drunk shopping, and then I woke up to all these boxes at my door. It's like, oh my gosh, dude. You're crazy. I've never done that. You bought a PC desk. Sounds amazing, dude. Boom. That's everything. Other than this. Can we go a bit closer so it focuses on the ingredients? Do it. I don't think it will. Okay, starting mixing this on low speed, and we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of salt. Now let's see how this starts to look, whether it's gonna be dry or too wet even. Got my spatula here. Maybe let's wipe down that extra flour and butter. Looking really good. Looking really dang good already. Hi, White Dove. Thank you very much. I'm glad you could be here with us today. Guys, I think we can add a bit more flour, actually. This is a, like, usually rare occurrence. I typically have to add more liquid. Let's do a little sprinkle because this should be forming into a sort of loose dough ball, not staying sticky around the sides like it is right now. Let's see what that small amount does. Just do a bit at a time and then let it mix for a bit. No, because that way, Wilson, if I listen to you, I'll be like, well, Wilson told me to do it that way, so... No, I'm just kidding. Then I'm off the hook. Guys, I left the vanilla out of the dough. I'm going to put it into the filling. And then I'm going to stop here for the amount of flour. Going to scrape the edges a little bit here. Let's see what happens. And then why don't I set, now that we're going like 8-9 minutes on the timer. Already getting really glutinous. The glutinous maximus. I did also find a recipe for sourdough discard donuts that I think we will try making at some point. It just takes a little while for it to proof the first time, like 8 to 10 hours on the counter. So that was not gonna happen today. But they do look really yummy. Mickey, you're making me laugh. Oopsies, I bought it. Okay, see how it has basically pulled? Just gonna scrape this last little bit all the way from the edges, and is staying in a nice dough ball all together there. It's not going flat and drooping down on us. Looks great. So now we'll let that go. I will leave the flour out over here just for when we pat out the donuts later on before we cut them. So maybe since I have a moment, I will go grab our little round that we want to use to portion out our dough. Done with the scale, guys. Just gonna give that a little zhuzh before I go over. All right, we got the vanilla and the flour, and about 6 minutes or so on this to mix. Guys, maybe while this is mixing, I'll get the frozen fruit out, the strawberries, just into a pot so that they can thaw a little bit to make our filling. I might just look up quickly a strawberry donut filling recipe online just for reference while we have time. But from the other recipes that I saw for the jam style fruit filling for donuts, looks like you just need fresher frozen fruit and then just a bit of sugar and lemon to make a quick style jam like that. No extra pectin or anything. Nice, Mickey. I was looking at PJ's. I think that's what Samo's gonna get for Christmas. It's time. Or I make them. I bunged it up too much here. What did I do? It looks crazy. Okay. Those ones look good too, the strawberry jam donuts. Let me click on this. See what they say for the filling. They just say strawberry jam or jam of your choice. They don't give us a recipe for it. So I'm just gonna go for it. We are cooking today, everyone. It's not moving no more. The dough. It doesn't want to move no more. Need another scrape, it looks. Literally love this mixer for that reason. We never have to like stop it if weird stuff is happening. If I move this over a touch, you can still see it. Yes. Okay. There's our little pot that we're gonna make our jam filling in. I thought it was a good time to make donuts. 'Tis the season. Got snowy out, making donuts. I'm also making them because I have to use fruit up. If you have any fruit that you need to use, it's a good time. Our freezer, like these style freezers suck, I would say, that are above the fridge. So I find a lot of stuff like you can't keep very long in there before it gets frosty. Can be a little bit frustrating, but also good that you can't let things die in the freezer that way. Nice. Gotta make pie crust because you're doing chicken pot pie. I hope it turns out amazing. We're just gonna use this all. Thanks, Costco. I will also say I was not super impressed with this bag of frozen strawberries that we bought, like, probably closer to the summertime almost. Just did not have that really, like, delicious, sweet, fruity flavor from the berries that I expected. So I was like, I need to transform these into something else. They need sugar. So we'll do some sugar. I think I have some lemon. You still got some lemon? Yes, I still got a lemon. And then at the end we can do vanilla. And I'll probably sneak in a couple sour cherries later on, but those are already in a jar and cooked. So you don't need to cook them for too long, otherwise they'll just fall apart. Which I guess is not a bad thing either. Okay, get that going. We have like 2 minutes left on this mixing and then we'll check. See if she is ready to put for her nap. Grab our sugars. What do we think? For this amount, maybe half a cup of sugar, guys? Okay, Wilson. Oh no, who did it? Mickey. Why did you do it? Burp, burp. Are they stopping at the building? Oh no. They're coming for donuts. They heard it was here. Get the coffee on. Okay. Back to Wilson. First, I want to read your little pocket knife story. You ordered a 34-piece pocket knife set on some home shopping network. Showed up 3 weeks later. I love that. Okay, and then Wilson has a turkey question. Please go ahead. I've also been asked turkey questions on Instagram from someone from Denmark. Possibly by the name of Mish. I love turkey questions. If you're gonna brine the turkey, will injecting it also be too much? I would be really careful with that. If you're gonna inject it, make sure it's mostly just like butter and stuff, I would say. And herbs, nothing salty. Or if you wanna do both, just make sure that your brine is not too salty when you make it. Like maybe don't add as much salt as it calls for. Those are my suggestions. It's butter and herb in the injection. So yeah, you should be good to go then. I'm trying to think of the times where usually we just injected or brined. Typically not both, but it does sound really good. Like I saw someone slice into a turkey. I think it was on Instagram the other day. And like when he sliced into the breast, it was just like oozing butter and herbs. It looked so good. Okay, I'm gonna go over to the stove with this. Get her heating up on like, let's do medium heat. We have time. And I gotta wipe all the sugar off of the board. And some went off of the counter and now my feet are like sticky. I can't handle it. Mickey, you're cut off for the day. Oh, that was good timing too. You're cut off from shopping. I mean, have you even done a feta complaint today, Mish? I'll give you that. You got a freebie. Okay, so before we take it all apart, yeah, you're welcome. Let's do the window test. Take out some of the dough. You can see it's a bit sticky still. See? You gotta do it for the people. Ah, it's really sticking. Do the window test. I'm not giving you all of this raw dough. Have you not read the warning signs on the bag of flour? That's our window. It's not super strong, so I'm gonna go 2 more minutes. And then we'll be good. In those 2 minutes, I'm gonna grab a lemon and juice half of it into our pot. 1, 2. Oh, just wait. My dough hook's loose. That's actually impressive though that nothing happens. It's just like, okay. Free game. Okay. Trev, how are you doing? Welcome in. Is this a brioche? By the time we added everything, I'm gonna say yes, sir. It pretty much is. It's not called a brioche, but the ingredients that we used are gonna say, yeah, it's a brioche. Or close to it. Mary just put a chuck roast in a crock pot with veggies. See you in 5 hours, she says. She's setting herself up for dinner tonight. No problem. This is what I was gonna do. Can we get there? Holy shit, it's still working. The only reason why it beeped is it wants to always tell us our battery percentage now. If that's what it needs to do for it to work, then fine. Fine. Sam's loving it. Yeah, right, Bonk? Leftovers for a week from the chuck roast. Trev, you've been good though? I know you're a big cooker at home for your crew. Getting ready for the holidays, Thanksgivings. Let's go over. What? Thanksgiving again? Yeah? Oh no! 2 weren't enough, chat. We got another one. Whoa, did you see all those essential oils like come out of the lemon when I let go of it? It looked nuts. Let's see if this gets really sour now. Might have to add some more sugar later. How are you guys starting fires? I guess that is actually accurate. It's cold out, so people are trying to stay warm. Let's give this a stir-zy. Nothing too much is happening just yet because it's all frozen. And then we'll see how much liquid come out of the berries, whether we have to add just a little bit of water or not to help it along. But that's gonna cook for probably a good 30 minutes or more. And I'm just gonna get it onto medium heat right now until it gets thawed and stuff, and then I'm gonna turn it down to low after that. Back to this. And I'm gonna go grab our plastic to get this covered so it can proof. First hard step of the day complete. Love it. Bonk. Have Sam go to the balcony and yell, "Hey, we're baking here and you're scaring the yeast." I actually love that. He's been opening the door lately and barking. I said, "You can't bark. We're gonna get in trouble. People will think we have a dog. Stop barking." Woo, woo, woo. Okay, Wilson says, "This is probably a dumb question." There's no dumb questions, guys. Please don't talk like that about yourselves. Also, do you see this? It's not even moving. Get down there. Just crawling on up the dough hook. So where we live, I would say, yeah, it's really bad here. And it makes me so sad. especially when you like always hear things that like there is not really any support left. They keep closing down all of the shelters. But was it also much worse in Vancouver when we lived there many years ago? Yes. And would I not even want to see how it is there now? Yeah, I would. It would be crazy. But like the thing is like I had to walk through Hastings Street to go to work, and I worked nights. So nothing bad ever happened to me for like what, the month that we worked there or so before we opened the brewery. And yeah, Sam walked with me, but still, whenever if we did walk like alone, nothing bad ever happened, guys. Just be aware, right? But yeah, it just does, it makes me upset that there are not really any services for these people that do need help.
I feel more unsafe here than I did ever in Vancouver.
Yeah. But the world's also changed a lot, right, guys? In the last, like, I would say maybe 5 years. Yeah. So it's really all in relativity of literally the state of the world, which is crazy, which is why it's also very important for us to make sure that we're always taking care of both ourselves and the people that we love. Don't be scared to send a message to check on someone. Right? Yeah, don't be scared to help strangers out. Because if we stop doing that, then it's just never going to be expected anymore either. And we'll wonder what the heck happened. Bonk, yeah, where you are in Cali, it's really bad too. The crazy like juxtaposition to me is that it's like usually so bad in the cities where you have the most services available. So it's kind of weird to think about that way, right? But I don't want to get stuck up on it. I think it is important to educate yourself on what happens around the world. So I'm never shy to answer those questions. So yeah, maybe just think about that going into our next season of like colds and holidays and stuff. If you can, help somebody out. Let's form this into just like a rough kind of dough ball. I don't think I'm going to be able to pick it up and take it out, nor do you. You guys already know that it doesn't really matter at this step to do that anyways. So now that we have this, just take a mental picture like always of this size, and then we want it doubled. So definitely like kind of see this line on the side if I turn it, like the top. Probably be around there, just a little bit lower. But let's get this wrapped nice and tight so that we don't get a dry crust on the top. Oh yeah, Trev, like the building that we live in, I don't know the percentage of it, but I know that parts of our building or some units in it are like low income. So I definitely feel you there when you say a lot of people are stressed about paying rent. And yeah, some of those people are literally us, right? Even though we don't like to talk about it, makes you feel like you're like weak, that you're not good enough, that you haven't never do enough. Call it Section 8. Whoa. Like low income, you're saying? Okay, donuts. Dough. Let it proof 1 hour. Let me go get my watch on so we can set the timer. I usually do 45 minutes to check it early. It is pretty nice and warm in here today. We got the heat cranking. let's set that. The sauce is looking yummy on the stovetop too. I'll go bring you guys over in a sec. 45 minutes on the clock. Let's just read the recipe through before we start our next task. Oh, wow, Kat. I actually super respect you guys telling us these stories in chat. So thank you for sharing that. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. When the dough has risen, scrape it out of the bowl onto a lightly floured surface. Roll it out to about 2 centimeters thick. Cut out the disc of dough 8 centimeter diameter. Let's go get our baking bin and dig out our cutters. See which one will work the best. Show and tell with Kate. This is the miscellaneous baking bin. It's smelling good. I actually am getting distracted, so let's go look at it over there. It's smelling good, guys. It's almost all thawed, and there's actually a lot of liquid in there, so we don't have to add any water. Look, finally got it into one nice layer. So now we're just gonna cook that down until it gets nice and jammy. Might have to use a little like potato masher or something, or a spoon, just to smash the strawberries down a bit more. But holy shit, that is smelling and looking so good. All right, baking bin. Macerate them. I mean, if you're making the donuts for adults, you could always put a little bit of liqueur in there. That's so cute, Mary. Just whistled in the bedroom. Pups ran to the door to come in. They're like, we're here. What she need, Mom? Holy shit, Kat. Your food bills are wild. I was wondering, like, if it varies from where we live in our countries. Like, everywhere in Canada is really bad right now, too. I don't know about you guys. We need a piping bag to fill the donuts. I think for, like, something messy like jam, probably the smaller one will be better. And then we just want a plain tip. This whole container here is like, most of these are actually hand-me-downs from my grandpa. Was a really good cook on my dad's side. So look at that, because we need it big enough to still get like the yummy fruit chunks through it. One of these is cut possibly already to fit this. Let's see. Or I might have to cut it a bit more. No, this one is. Okay. So I cut it like just enough to fit this. Like that. So we got our piping bag to fill with. Put that to this side. And then I got a couple different sets of ring molds. I think this one we can actually choose. So the yellow one. Oh no, sorry. We're going to do this blue one because they said 8 centimeters. It has the inches in centimeters on the top. These we got from Amazon. Mish! That's so cute. You didn't have to use up your points for that. I was just going to do it anyways for all of us. But thank you very much. And I don't know who keeps calling them. I don't even have the grill going today. The whole weekend has been so peaceful, other than this last, 20 minutes? And there's so much vehicles on the street right now that's not been plowed, so it is just bad. Okay, so Mish says, let's make something for Torino to remember him by. And I know we'll make bannock for sure. And let's do something Ukrainian, maybe, that we've never done yet. Your eggs are $2.67 a dozen. So our eggs that we pay for here are like minimum usually $5 a dozen. And that's for nothing fancy. Not even fancy eggs. So if you want like good eggs, it's about $8 a dozen. Yeah, we just found out recently that Torino Evolve, one of our long-term say like family stream members passed away, guys. So I'm sorry if this comes to surprise to you, because it did to us, but I thought that we should let everyone know. So if you want to share your fondest memories of him in chat, by all means. We didn't know either. It's okay, guys. I was saying to Mish yesterday how I loved how he would always like hit on Samo when he would come into chat. Don't even look into those blue eyes. But this is our ring mold that we're going to choose. So we can put the rest of this away. And yeah, this is the rest of my miscellaneous baking bin. We have cannoli molds here that we used once upon a time. I got like 100-year-old butter melting pot from my grandparents. Tart tamper, all sorts of different stuff. Muffin liners, food coloring, sparkles, sprinkles, pie pans. Usually if I need something for baking, it lives in here. Is it Griswold? I don't think I can read it. It just says made in Canada from what I can read on the bottom. That's it. Will it focus? That's it. She's ancient though. My grandma was telling me that her mom would put that pan on the like wood stove to always have butter melted. Thanks guys for all the love in chat. Maybe he's even here with us right now, and I'm sure he appreciates it. Okay, we're good to go there.
I don't know who's been fucking with stream.
What?
Now I know who's been fucking
Yeah,
with stream.
is this who he's just like laughing his ass off at me? That's who's been effing with the GoPro and stuff? Straight up. Torino's like, suckers, you'll never get rid of me. Now I know. Hi, this username does not exist. He was with us like a long time, Wilson. I would say more than 3 years, because like we've sent him jerky and stuff like that.
Oh, way longer than that.
He's now the stream ghost. I honestly wouldn't put it past him to screw with us like that. That is what I would expect, honestly. Okay, into our beef next, guys. The recipe is linked on a YouTube video. I'm going to just read off of it to get it started here for us. Right, Misha's been here for over 4 years, and he was already here with us. Chicago beef sandwiches. Now that we have a couple more people in here, has anyone had Chicago beef sandwiches? Has anybody watched the TV show The Bear? So far, it's been a no and a no, which is crazy to me. I've never had the sandwich, but I've watched the show, and I think we should make it.
To the truck across the road right now.
A water line?
Hooked up to the fire truck across the road.
What? Actually? Guys, they're hooking up the fire hose to the fire truck across the street. Holy shit. There's another fire truck coming. It's not in front of our building, but Rutro, we don't often see him actually hook up. We'll keep you posted. We'll keep you posted, but let's get cooking so that I can actually make some lunch here. I need a sandwich before this all goes down. You saw the first season. Okay, so Mary knows kind of what we're getting into today then. Right, Trev? Okay, so just before we start, guys, before we carry on here, just make sure you tell the people that you love, that you actually do love them. I know that we all assume that we know that all the time, but yeah, time is a relentless thing. I always say we don't know when our expiry date is, but a lot of times it happens too soon. You live in Chicago? Okay, fun. So have you eaten the sandwiches then? Trim fat from the beef and set aside. We're not gonna do that anyways. Also, it's not super fatty. Season it with salt and pepper. Sear it in a braising pot. I don't have a ton of beef, but I think I'm still gonna just use the one pot I had in mind anyways. Yet it is. Maybe they just knew you were cooking, Kate, and they're coming over for snacks. I would be honored. What?
They've done that.
Yeah, they've already visited us once. Oops. Oopsies. Okay, big old pot for not that much stuff, but I will say there are some aromatics to go into the braiser with the beef. Carrot, onion, garlic, stuff like that, and obviously a little bit of broth. So make sure you leave room for all of that. Did I see a chaotic good mage in here? Sorry, chat's a bit wild today, but we love it. Thank you very much, sir. I hope that you're having a good weekend. You just yesterday had a beef and sausage combo with sweet peppers? Yes. You're bringing the vibes here. Can I say your name, Kana? Hope I just said that okay. There's nothing in the egg. It's okay. Okay, let's get into this. Get some seasoning. I think I'll just lay this out on a plate and season with some salt and pepper first. It was frozen. I actually got this tri-tip, guys, from Walmart, out of all places. Here in Canada, our Walmart gets AAA, so one down from the highest grading of beef. Black Angus cows in from Canada. It's been much better, honestly, for quality than the other store that I was going to all the time. Kind of shocked by it. Not upset at all. So this is what we're gonna use. And then when I looked up what the kind of beef cuts that they use for the Chicago beef sandwich, tri-tip was at the top of the list. So that's why this is going down today. The strawberries are smelling really good, guys. I'm like distracted by the smells, honestly. I'm just gonna give it a little stir. Sam's 9. Using tongs so I don't have to get my hands dirty. Well, I know we have a couple different breeds of cow that they raise in Alberta too. Bonk. The popular breed here. Wooly! Hello! And thank you very much for the follow. That was so loud. At least we won't miss it. Sam, why are you dying? This piece of beef doesn't look that amazing. Let's switch it over. There we go. But the other ones look good. And like, I'm not gonna worry about that bit of connective tissue because we're gonna slice it and stuff later after it cooks. So we can take care of that stuff later on. But I think we should leave this mostly in its whole form if we can. And then all of that fat's gonna slowly break down when we braise it. But first, we gotta get it browned on all sides. So let's season it for that step. And then maybe while it's browning in the pan, we can quickly get some onions chopped, some carrots. I'm actually gonna do a bit of celery root that I had to use up in the fridge instead of just celery, garlic, and some broth. Yeah, right? Most of this is gonna cook down. Let's use some pep. Torino. He's pressing the GoPro button. Do we have a John the Young in here? Hello, dude. I hope you survived our awesome snowstorm. Frick, I need to go buy a toboggan. Who in chat? Well, I know in America toboggan means a hat on your head. Go snow sledding. Here in Canada we call it tobogganing. Trev, I don't know if you've seen. Let me show you because we're gonna go over to the stove anyways. Oh, it's kind of dirty, but please excuse it. There's a few dishes over here and also the coffee station. But back here behind, is this working? No! Why are you like this? Hello, is anybody here? It's not working. We sent an email to GoPro to ask what the F is going on. Hopefully we hear back from them, because that camera is the most expensive out of all the other ones that we use. And for some reason, oh baby, she really pushes the limit here. You're a nut, is what I'm gonna say. So why are you just doing that? I've given up. When in doubt, just unplug it and replug it. They should rename GoPros to what the F, literally. Plus all the other creators that I watch have the same issues. We're doing good, John, we're doing good. Thank you very much for asking and coming in to hang with us today. Okay, let me check this one more time. It's frozen on that page, and I don't know why. Vicky's here to save the day. Vicky, thank you very much for coming in with a 33-month resub, guys, being part of the kitchen crew. Hope you're having a good weekend. Just trying to fix this for a sec. I'm just gonna deactivate it and reactivate it, if that is possible. Greek, yeah, since we left Rando's house, we lost Frank and now we have Reno. Leave it to me, guys. Pro streamer Kate. You can't get me no more, dude. Boom! Don't even say I don't do anything for you guys. Honestly, my mental capacity, the amount of expansion of my mental capacity in the last 2 months. Look at this molten lava pot, though. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit more, I think.
Fuck, we just made leaps and bounds.
Leaps and bounds. I don't know why it's so red looking. Maybe that's a bit better. Okay, this is smoking just because there's oil under there. We're gonna let that go. So let's get just a little bit of fat into this pan, whatever you want to cook with. You can see it's really dry. What do we want to use? I think I'll just go from the tasty, tasty fat jar. And so we have our meat seasoned. We'll sear it on each side, and then we gotta deglaze with some broth. So make sure you get that ready first, and then we can always add the veggies and stuff afterwards. Oh no, I see there's a hair in my watch strap. No, thank you. Okay, success. You can tell this is getting a bit syrupy already. It's looking good. I got a handle on it now. Chef and IT support in one person. I never thought anyone would say that about me. Or were you talking about Sam? This is a first.
Mickey, you're supposed to stop before.
Mickey, I already said you were cut off shopping. Okay, get our tongs in the beef. Next one, I'm digging out the broth. It's a chicken turkey broth. It's not a beef broth. I have a bit of bouillon to add if you want. We have the option.
Sure it's not rabbit leg?
What? Rabbit?
Yeah.
No. It's definitely beef. Okay, turn this down a bit now. We are under control. I'm going to turn up this pan for searing actually a bit. And then I suppose we got to look at the temp that it braises at because we got to turn the oven on. I don't think it gets cooked on the stove top. No, 350 F for 1 hour. Go a bit higher. I'll go like 370. Perfect. Once I get the beef in the pan, I gotta go take a bathroom break. I had some coffee today. Not gonna go just yet. Just letting you guys know that somebody needs to watch it so it doesn't burn. Just watched a salamander on cooking, one of your fantasy appliances. Don't talk about that. I remember when people wanted us to get a salamander, and I said that would be so dang fun to use too, Trev. You know how many times that thing has saved my life cooking in the kitchen restaurant? Holy shit, I forgot to put the toast down for brunch. Put it in the salamander. Oh shit, I left it in 10 seconds too long. It's now black.
It's not on fire.
Do it again. Oh man. Imagine, yeah, searing the beef in there. You sicko. Okay, let's do this. It looks hot. That is what we want to hear. This little nugget over there. That looks pretty perfect. So we're going to hang on to the plate for when this comes out of the pan. I will be back. Also going to turn this front one down a bit too now. I'll be back in 1 moment. Don't go anywhere. Halo?
Mish that me with a catfish while I was trying to help.
You got catfish?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a trap. You gonna be okay?
I'm
Strawberry juices? Why are you guys making a mess?
emotional damage.
Salamander is the ultimate cheese crisper. Yes. Okay. Let me read this recipe. Once browned, remove beef, rest on a half tray with a rack. Deglaze the pan with your aromatics. Rough chopped carrot, celery, garlic. He forgot to say onion, but we will do that too. And then we just mix in the dried herbs and the other seasonings. They say to add the beef into the pot and braise it with the peppers, but I am just imagining it going into mush if you add the peppers and then cook them for an hour. So I'm going to do that after the beef cooks and is resting. That will be better. I don't know why it's so loud. I'm sorry. I thought it was fixed. Thank you for the follow. MSGDK420. But we're gonna watch a video later. But yeah, I guess that works for now. No playing. I didn't even see what he was doing. So that's that. So I'll grab out some stuff for our aromatics. And then as far as our dried spices, garlic powder, onion powder, basil, and chili flake. Oh, and oregano. So oregano, basil, garlic, onion, chili. That sounds good. I'll bring those over by the stove. Oregano, basil, garlic. Do we need double onion? I don't think so. I'll leave the onion. And then we'll do chili. Chili flakes. Guys, Samo's helping? We'll take it. What do we got on the bread timer? There's no way it's closed. We're getting there though, but not quite. Hello?
What did you learn this week about a toaster? Let's see how many people actually know this as well.
A what? About a coaster?
Toaster.
A toaster. Oh shit.
Let's see.
So on the toaster, there's numbers for like the settings of darkness. Yeah, Mish. How do you know this? So I didn't know this. I just thought it was the number of like toasting darkness. 1 to 5. Choose a level. 5 is gonna be like burnt. You got it. No problem. Nah, bruh. That is the amount of minutes of toasting that you want. Reddit. Nobody on our Reddit locally tells us these things. Apparently it is. Sam said if he needed to time it that he would. But I don't know about this. Right, Bonk? I thought it was toasting level. Hi, Walter Mellon. Welcome into our toast combo. You learned that via the internet too? Danish Reddit's the best Reddit. I am flipping this over. Oh my gosh. But that is what I can teach you today. Thanks guys for doing the shout out to Walter. Are you doing any streams coming up? Let's go back to L on that because that beef's starting to look good. Okay, we got the dried herbs and spices. We need onion, garlic, celery, carrot. Okay. Thank you very much. Hello? Who is this? I'm in the fridge. Hello there? Anonymous gifter gifting a sub to NYX Tokyo. Welcome in and thank you very much. Mirepoix plus herbs and garlic. Got it, Bonk. Okay, Samo said we're almost done. Turn that baby down. This one can maybe go a bit more if we can. How's these? Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. This one looks so good. I just want to eat that as a steak nubbin right now.
No.
Samo says I'm down. Okay, so they said we don't have to peel the carrot. So that's easy. Maybe just make sure it's clean. Wash it up. Rocco. Hello. Hello there. Okay, we're gonna do maybe this for now. Go, go, go. What? I'm steaming it up out the window, guys. The hood vent goes like straight out this way, out the living room. I can see the steam I'm creating outside. It's kind of cool. Okay, I wanted to get this chopped first so that when we take the beef out, we can put the onion into the pan. And then we'll do the other ones. You're gonna make Chef John from Food Wishes French onion green bean casserole. I think I've heard of this. I think I've heard of that. Have you made it yet? Let's start taking these out if you're happy with how they're seared. Holy. Back in the day, we would call that sealing in the juices. But apparently, it's not true. We need a spoon. Not a ton of fat in here. Just thought we'd get the onions a little kiss of color before we add a bit of broth into deglaze. And then now we're just waiting on the oven to finish heating. Get everything in here and cooking. You guys can tell how much that's cooked down already. Pretty crazy. I don't want to like put the beef spoon on with the other spoon yet. It's really good, Walter. You made it last year for Friendsgiving. So then, did your friends ask you to make it again, or you just wanted to? Or is that even something that you are making it for? Okay, it's time to deglaze, just so that we don't get that fond too dark. Go like that to start. We can always put more broth. Wow, look at that color that just came up. We'll let that cook a little bit while we finish cutting our other few aromatics up. Pie crust is all mixed up. Boom! You're doing it, yet it is. Okay, come back over. I don't even know if this celery root is usable, but let's see. It looks okay. Trim it up. I thought, why would I buy celery if I have this to use? The root end is the worst for trimming. The rest of this should be a-okay. And yeah, the skin on celery root is quite thick, so I often use a knife. You can see how much dirt just came off of that. The heck? No, thank you. That's a no on the dirt scale. Oh, nice, Walter. So you're just trying to fill in what other people have already chose to make. And so just rough chop this stuff. Nothing fancy. that. A couple garlic cloves smashed. We're gonna do at least 5. That one peeled itself. Nice bonk. I didn't even read the recipe. I know that you saw that. How much garlic? This much. Sounds good. Guys, at the Italian shop today when we went to get the buns, they got the panettones in for Christmas time. The tower of panettones is like twice as tall as us. I'm not even exaggerating. It is insane. I love it so much. Is there anyone in here that ever has panettone? It's like an Italian cake, I guess, that you have at Christmas time. Okay, those are in, and now you just need carrots. Never heard of it. Interesting. I mean, I did grow up with a lot of Italians, so maybe that's why I know it. Where's our other one? Okay, back here. Last couple bits, and then we'll put our spices and other herbies. We'll do one more carrot. I don't mind carrots that get braised for an hour. They should be really flavorful after soaking up all that stuff. Probably give some munch into them. Whoa, the heck is going on there? Okay, so first I'm just gonna wash them, it looks like. Because they said we don't have to peel it, but let's make sure it's nice and clean. Oh, nice, yet it is. And Kat, thanks for coming to hang with us today for a little bit. Good luck on your test that you're studying for. You got this. Tip and top. And then we can just cut little rounds since they're so small. Look at those simmering pots. Don't drop the carrot in the strawberries. Okay, so I'm gonna add a bit more liquid now that I can kind of see where the beef is gonna sit. Keep that simmering like that. And then a little bit of each of the spices. So a bit of dried basil. It'll break down as it cooks, so I wouldn't worry too much about like breaking the leaves down. This is gonna be good. I didn't expect the basil, but it does make sense. Oregano. Not too much of that. Should be good. And then we did put garlic cloves, but we'll do a bit of dried garlic as well, it said. Little covering like that. And then finally, just a pinch of chili flakes. Trev's growing his own carrots next year. And you need to choose a preservation method. A lot of the farmers I see online, they have like a fridge that they use for their carrots, and then they just tie them up into garbage bags and tape it, and it will last literally the whole season until next year. That's so cool, kinda. I'm glad you're here with us today. Okay, there's our chili flakes. You don't want it super spicy, but I think all those flavors are gonna meld really nicely together. Now we can put our beef back in, cover it up, and say goodbye for about an hour, it says, or until the beef registers 140 degrees Fahrenheit internal. Nestle that in there. See how I kind of put the meat on the veggies so it doesn't sit right on the bottom of the pan? That's a bit of a pro tip. Hang on to these for later with the spoon. So just wait for this to really get simmering, and then we'll get that lid on. That looks good, hey? I want to come a bit closer to see. And then those are the strawberries, which I think are almost done. Just got this pumping a bit more heat up here. While I'm waiting, let's change this scene back to me. Boom, boom. Right, Trev? I thought that was kind of crazy too, the temp. 140. And then you let it rest, slice it, and then you heat it back up in the broth and stuff once it's strained and cooked with the peppers. It's like a Philly cheesesteak / beef dip sort of thing. I don't know how else to describe it because I've never had one before. But we are turning that off. We're putting the lid on. The oven just beeped. It couldn't have been more perfect. And that is going into a 350 degree Fahrenheit oven. Be careful. Cast irons are always very hot. Make sure that you cook it in something with a lid. Okay, now just strawberries left. And then I'm thinking that this is like almost done. Might be able to add the cherries now. Let it cook a bit longer. There's still some juices in there, but the berries have definitely cooked down. And then the thing with jam is you need it to cool once it's been cooked, and then that's when it's gonna get thick from the sugar, the lemon, and then reducing the fruit. Maybe turn the light down one notch. Give me a sec. Okay, that looks a bit better. Okay, first before we do that, I'm just gonna do a quick cleanup here from our beef and also reset a timer. There's only 2 minutes left on the donuts proofing. That couldn't have been more perfect. 1 hour or so on the clock for the beef to check. Okay, I am putting away our carrots, garlic, and onion. Let's get this stuff into the garbage. That is a very good pro tip, Mish. If you really want to know quickly if your jam is going to set, put a plate, a small plate, like a side plate, into the freezer, have it cool, and then if you put a little spoonful of jam onto that cold frozen plate, it should firm up very quickly, right? But obviously if it doesn't, well then you know that it's not cooked enough yet. Am I mashing the fruit or just let it fall apart? It fell apart a lot. I don't know if you just saw, I did a little bit of smooshing with my spoon, but nothing too crazy. I like the chunks of berries. I'm gonna wipe down our board because there was a lot of dirt on there from the celery root. Yum, Trev. For a while you were replacing like maple syrup or just syrup with different breakfasts with fruit compotes instead. What's like one of your favorite ones? Yeah, you're right, Bonk. The natural pectin from especially like berries or apples are another good one. I think out of all the berries, maybe blueberries have the most amount of pectin. Like once you blend blueberries, it doesn't matter what they're in. It's like so thick. Thank you very much, friend. Subscribing at tier 1. Guys, we got someone new to the kitchen crew that found us just today. If I go to the other scene, it will play our fun sub alert sound. Yes, yeah, straighten out the seeds. That's one thing about raspberries I don't love. Same with blackberries is chewing on the seeds. But if you strain it, you're all good. Okay, ready? Or it doesn't want to play on this one either. I guess today's just not the day. But welcome in, kinda. This, I need to wrap up our onion so it doesn't stink up the fridge. Put our stock away. If I'm going down the hall, let's bring all of our dried herbs and spices back. Okay, what is next on our list? So we'll check on our donut dough that is proofing back there. We're at only about 45 minutes out of an hour. I usually like to check it early just in case it does proof quickly. Doesn't look like today is the day, but let's see. Mickey, you're hilarious, dude. You'll love it. I know it. Okay, I think before we go further, we'll check our dough and then we'll finish off the filling. Because it is looking so delicious. That's where we're at. Has spread out a bunch. It's rising a bit too, actually. But it definitely needs a bit longer, and that's okay, because we can prep some other things while we wait. So why don't I add now about another 15 or so minutes. We'll get our sour cherries out and into the pan on the stovetop with the strawberries. Strawberry cherry donut filling. Does that sound good, Samuel? Or did I just hear you say or was that something else? There's that. And then before I even add it, I'm gonna take a spoon and see how this is tasting. I felt like maybe I added a bit too much lemon juice earlier, but let's see. Don't burn your face. No, that is really good. Full of flavor. I don't have to be scared about adding sour cherry. Does this fit? Yes. So we're not going to add any of the sour cherry juice, just the fruit itself. And it's canned, so that means that they're already cooked. So they don't really have to cook down more. Really just using this to bulk out the filling for the donuts. I'm all about using what you already have on hand, if you can. That looks good though. So I'll add some nice color too. And then I'm hoping that will just make it a bit thicker from the strawberry juices. So when our 15-minute timer goes off there, I'm gonna say that will be done too. We'll do our final check. But just the way that it's like bubbling there. She's almost ready. And then we have to let that cool on its own before we put it into the piping bag. Never put hot foods into the piping bag. Nice, Mary. You guys are doing a little bit of light decorations on your spruce trees. I love it. We were just talking the other day about hopefully doing a little drive around with you guys this year. Going to see some of the Christmas lights people set up. Trev, I made donuts a couple weeks ago, but I used a recipe from a restaurant chef. He says never do that. I had so much dough, it made like 24 donuts plus donut holes and a few bear claws. Well, this recipe says it makes 16, so I'm a little bit scared, but we got this. Hopefully the donuts are done by the end of stream. Does Sam's mom make Berliner, the German version of these filled donuts? Does your mom ever make donuts? I've never seen her make them out of all of her amazing baked goods that she does during Christmas time. What's your answer?
I don't know.
He actually doesn't know, he says. So if that's the case, I'm probably going to say no. But yeah, we can ask. Okay, going to our list here. What do we have left? We seared the beef. We're braising it. After that, we let it cool. So in this moment that we have a few minutes to wait, let's get our peppers out for the dish and just a bowl to put them in after they're cut up. And they said like chopped peppers. They used green, which I don't love green peppers, the flavor. I just chose like red, yellow, and orange instead. Torn or sliced peppers. Just make sure that you remove all the seeds. So they don't even really tell you the size to cut it. Not too small, not too big. Let's just go with that. Mish, you can get Berliner donuts there. What do they fill them with? Because it probably is different than what we do here. That is one of my favorite parts, Trev, right? Once you have the dough done, they fry up super fast. You fry them, right? Or do you bake them? And then Mary says if you have extra dough, just use it as buns for sliders or something. That makes sense too. Okay, let's get some peps. I have a couple to use up down here still. They're salvageable. All of the peppers. Whoa. The meat in the oven, I'm already smelling the garlic and stuff. Strawberry jam or raspberry jam. Fry it, roll it in sugar. I wonder what would happen if you filled a donut and then fried it, Mish. Terrifying. Explosions of fruit. Trev, your kids won't even eat baked donuts. You raised them right. That's when you know. Cinnamon sugar. That's all you need sometimes. I think so, Mish. If you filled the donut with fruit jam, it would 1000% sploot out and you could die. Potentially. Okay, because these are going to cook down a bit. Let's do that. This whole bag of 6 peppers was only $10. Can't beat it considering they're $3.49 a pound at the grocery store. That's more expensive than chicken. Yep. I'll choose the chicken, thanks. Everyone have a sip of water. Lamarzen, I read that comment too fast. At first it looked like deep fry my kids. What? Let's wash all these up before we cut them. Right? We've been trained into thinking that 6 peppers for $10 is a good deal. Because think about what we pay for like a pack of seeds to grow peppers all year and how much you get from them. Trev, don't get me started. It's too late though. Sam's barking. He's upset. He's yelling. Bob says, thanks everyone for the entertainment while grocery shopping. Bob, I have a report for you today after visiting our Italian market once again. I was browsing in the pasta section, dried pasta, the Rummo one, and I saw that we can get like a pack of lasagna sheets dried from Rummo.
Really?
Was like, what? I don't know. Might have to try it out. Okay. So, literally doesn't matter how you cut up. You could even tear up the peppers, it said, but as long as you don't have seeds in there. Got some oranges for your brine yesterday, Wilson. 10 for $10. I think that's around what we pay too. Maybe a bit less. Bob, Rummo's on the menu later today. It's like I already knew. Okay, so this is how I cut peppers. Go along each side of the core. Hopefully most of the seeds stay together that way. And then if you want, you can go around like this to get the top parts. Then you don't waste anything. And then you're just left with that. Tap out any extra seeds. We'll just make a pile on this side for now over here. I usually save these just to, like in a container in the fridge for pepper snacks throughout the week. Tap this, tap that, and then this part, trim that out. It's just spongy and doesn't taste like anything. And that's that. First one done. You're casing 10 pounds of sausage when you get home today? What type did you make this time? Oh no, see I cut too close and now the seeds are going everywhere. I can't see through, I don't have pepper x-ray glasses. So you just have to guess.
You don't have pepper X-ray here?
No, not yet at least.
Why not?
I don't know. Missing out. Really good tasting Italian sausage. Does that mean you put lots of fennel in there? Trev, one thing you regret is you didn't plant fruit trees when you bought your house, because you'd be swimming by now. Yes. Yeah, one of the farms that we follow on YouTube, that was like one of the first things he did was plant his permaculture orchard. Because it takes forever for trees to grow and like produce stuff, right? Whether it's fruit or nuts. These peppers are literally so old, these long yellow ones. I'm honestly surprised that they have not gone bad. Just goes to show how long they will last if you keep them proper. Taparoo. And then usually I think for like sandwiches, peppers are sliced. Like if I think about a Philly cheesesteak or something. But like they said, you can just tear them up if you want. Guys, what does he have? Holy meesh. That's a strong one. You have a pepper surviving in your greenhouse still? Made it through minus 12 Celsius. So they can like handle the cold, hey? Which doesn't really make sense because when you grow peppers, you need a lot of heat. That's funny. They're hot and they're cold. Okay, let's get rid of this. Yeah. And actually, guys, I'm gonna turn off the jam filling on the stove over here and let it start to cool off a bit. It's looking good. It's Johnny Radin, aka Nike, as we mostly all know him by. Thank you, my guy. I hope you're doing a-okay over there. It's good to see you on a Sunday. Peppers completed. Now, whoa, there was a piece hanging off. Now we're gonna take the miscellaneous parts like that, maybe those ones, and then we'll slice the rest. But we'll pack the other ones up for snackies. Whoa, down the hallway, it's really smelling like savory food, like the beef braising. But then in the kitchen, it smells like strawberries.
I got strawberry beef over here.
Some has strawberry beef smells, if you were wondering. It's not bad though, right?
Nope.
Getting ready for the holidays. I love it. You have curry trees, Trev? What the heck? That sounds fun. Like for curry leaves? Okay, for slicing these, I'm just gonna go on an angle. And maybe about 1/2 inch thick. Curry trees do okay indoors, but they actually get to like full-size trees if you grow them outside. How cool. I'm assuming you eat a lot of curry then. What did you get from over there? I'm intrigued right now. You know when you hear packages rustling and you don't know what they are? Ritz crackers is the report. He's not hiding it. Okay, I think that is the timer to check on the bread dough, or the donut dough rather, again. The yeast dough, if you will. That's looking pretty good. I think if we finish the peppers, we'll be able to get into dividing the donuts up. Hopefully they don't take too long to rise the second time. But we do still gotta finish the beef and stuff, so that's okay if it does. No thank you on the Ritz, Bonk says. Saltines buttered. That's literally the same thing. I called you out just now. So you take the dry ice cracker and put butter, or you can just eat it all together in one part. Ritz are sweet? What? Did they do something weird in the States to their Ritz? Because I don't find that they're sweet. Samo's tasting it for you right now. Maybe he'll say yes. A bit? He says a bit. Okay, you're right. I'll give you that. Donut dough is the best feeling dough. It's true, Trev. Out of any other doughs I've made, Donut dough is seriously like the softest and most perfect dough ever that I wish every other dough felt like. How funny is that? Mrs. Syntax, hello. Great to see you. Love all these names we recognize. Saltines with melted cheese are also good. I used to do saltines with cream cheese and strawberry jam. That's a deadly snack if you've never. Mish says, put the dough in the oven at a really low temp. The oven is cooking the beef right now, but what we can do, we're also just going to put these to the side now that they're done, is the top of the oven surface is warm, right? Because the oven's on. So I was just going to do that. After we divide them up onto the sheet pan, just put the sheet pan on the oven to warm it. Should be good. We have around 37 minutes left on the beef braising. So a good amount of time to divide this and then hopefully get them proofing. And then everything will actually finish around the same time. Hopefully. Just toss saltines with cheese in the microwave. We usually call those poverty nachos. Typically with tortillas and cheese in the micro, but yeah, I'm not a stranger to that. Ritz with spicy cheese like jalapeno, Velveeta, or pepper jack. Hi, Oiliana. Okay, here it is in all of its glory. Let's get... I got a red cutting board to use today. Or yeah, poor man's nachos. Either or. It's a joke. It doesn't mean that you're actually poor. It's just a really easy, quick snack that lots of us grew up on. Okay, we got this. Yeah, right? Cheese and tortillas. It's not like it's even inexpensive to get those things anymore. You break the bank a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna rinse off this one bench scraper because I think we used them all. I kept the flour out beside so it's easy to use. And so then they said 2 centimeter thick to roll out the dough. This whole diameter is 8. So if we divide it in half, that's 4. So it looks about like 1/2 inch thick if you guys want, or 2 centimeters to roll the dough out for the thickness, before we use an 8 centimeter cutter to cut it out, because it will expand a second time after we portion it. Dun, 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 dun. Very festive. And also looking into the future with our red board. That's the color of the filling. I also just put the vanilla bottle over by the jam filling, because I almost forgot to add that. We'll get the board coated in a layer of flour. And then beside me, I'm gonna set up, they said to just do a sheet pan sprayed with nonstick or like brushed with oil, because they might stick to the parchment and then they don't get baked, right? They get fried. So it should be easy to like pick it off of the sheet pan. So I'm just gonna put this literally right beside where I'm working, go grab a nonstick and get that sprayed. And then hopefully, yeah, I think we'll be able to fit 16 donuts on one pan. We'll see once we start cutting them. Nike, you like tachos? Tachos are so good. We did those before on stream, and yes, I also liked tachos. Have potatoes instead. What else did I do? I also made nachos There's someone dressed as a Tin Man walking down the street. But anyways, I've also made nachos before with waffle fries. Was really good. Is that accurate of me saying, Sam? I swear I had just seen the Tin Man. He went across, I think. Look right. I don't know what happens in this city anymore, Wilson.
Like went into the bakery?
I don't know. I just seen him walking like down in the snow where the cars usually park with another person dressed in black. But where did they go? It must be right below the window where you can't see. Bonk tater tots with nacho cheese, crumbled bacon, green onions.
Sour cream on side.
Samo says sour cream. Okay, let's see how big this presses or rolls out to. Sometimes I just press the dough out into the thickness we need. But if you have a rolling pin, that might be easier for this. Pizza crackers. See? All of our little silly snacks that we've come up with when there ain't much else around. That just shows your creativity, guys. That's awesome. Well, I know the movie Wicked is coming out based off of The Wizard of Oz, so maybe that's why. This feels so good though, guys. I'm gonna give it a flip. Ooh. Feels really nice. Okay, now let's try to get it like into a rectangle of some sort before we cut it. My least favorite part of making round donuts, like if I was to have a donut shop, I'd probably just make square donuts. Because I hate the waste from around the outside when you cut them round. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I would be the square donut person. Sam says make square donuts. But then it's not like what they made in the bear. So about 1/2 inch thick is what we roll it out to, guys. Do your best to keep it as even as possible. Same with biscuits, it's true. Yeah, I'm pretty sure every time I've made biscuits on stream, I've cut them like either triangular or square. You're right, Rocky Coast. One more roll through the middle. Okay, that looks great. I'm just gonna get rid of this because we're done. It didn't even get dirty. So we got this all rolled, and then beside we got our cutter and then a sheet pan sprayed with nonstick for our proofing surface. Says we should get around 16 donuts from this, so let's see how we do. A bear can be square. From what you have watched on donut cooking streams, they use the waste, just roll it into swirls, like the braided donuts are for fritters. That makes sense, Wilson. Right? Because otherwise it's like, oh, what do you use it up for? And then we try to always kind of like attach where you just cut the last one. And I usually go around the outside first to maximize that way. And then I'll start going like layer by layer, basically. We'll see if we can get 2 still out of there. It might be cutting it a bit close. I love pizza buns. Here, people would make like pizza pretzels. Have you ever had those, Samo, from the grocery store? I think like Sobeys and stuff. I loved pizza pretzels when I was young. Oh, did I cut that one enough? These little rings are like really bendy, so it feels a bit funny when I go to cut. And then as you guys can see, if it's like just shy of being big enough, just press it out a touch. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, we might get 16. I don't think we're gonna get 2 rows this way though. It's kind of weird. So 10, 11, 12, 13. But if we did have this proper, we probably would have gotten this 16. I mean, now I think I'm just gonna try to keep this piece kind of as whole as possible. Just cut it with a bench scraper and then fry it in like chunks of dough. And then probably same with these too. Like, I don't like to overwork dough like this because then it just gets hard and dense, right? I still got the bench scraper over here. No? Okay. But these shouldn't be stuck. So now we're going to lift them up onto the sheet pan. Try to leave around like an inch in between for them to rise so that they don't stick together. If you like manwich, you add it to a burger bun. That's like the chili in a can, right? Okay, I'll have to make a little bit of room. We can just fit these amount of donuts on the one pan, so I would say that's actually perfect. Plus, like ending up with a baker's dozen of perfect donuts, that's actually how it should be. Boom. You know what I've been craving lately is a sloppy Joe. Samo says he would fox with that. Let me just go quickly grab a clean tea towel and we'll get those babies covered. It says around another hour to proof, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Let's just hope not. I think it'll go quicker because even as I like rolled those out, they started rising again. They're happy dough babies. That's a bingo right there. We'll take it. Okay. Boom. What about our other little pieces here that we have left? Oh no. Mary says, what kitchen gadget can you not live without? You can't include knives or a coffee machine.
Garlic press.
Sam says garlic press.
So
that's a good one. I really like the bench scraper. That always helps me like transfer things really quickly. It's a good dough. Samo's face like lit up when he tried that piece of raw dough. Thank you very much, DJ Hawk. It kind of does look like art, hey? Let me grab the last scraper and we'll divvy these last pieces up. I'm excited. Like, I think these look cool like that. Probably just gonna leave them on this board to finish rising. Some of the smaller pieces I'll try to group together, if it's possible. I've never made crazy donut shapes like that before, but why not? Even if we just get rid of this, that's okay too, guys. If you want me to ball it back up though like this, so that you can see when we go to fry it, you'll see how like overworking the gluten like this just makes it so dense. Okay, so now kind of same with these. Just try to keep it similar size to the other ones. And then that way we won't waste any of the dough that we made today. Perfect. DJ Hawk, a corkscrew is your choice? You're a whiner and a diner? There's not even anywhere I can put this. It looks cool. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna get rid of the flour now. Just create a bit more space in the kitchen here. Made a little bit of mess on this side. And then same with our nonstick. And we need some oil to fry. So I'll grab that on the way back. We're gonna use peanut oil. Man, it seems like we've been using this peanut oil for forever to make stuff and like not even at halfway yet. It's like a dough puzzle. Can you complete it? A colander or a strainer is Bonk's choice. I like it. Greek? Make it hockey puck dense? Greek knows. Right, dude? It's like, oh. If I put this up here, it's safe. Perfect. Mary chooses her air fryer. She can't live without it. That's a good one too, actually.
Carmen feels the same.
We've been loving ours for just heating up small things instead of always microwave. Oiliana says spatula, since you bake a lot. That's a good one. Greek, go to bite into the donut, break your tooth in half. Hopefully not. Okay. We have divided the donuts, guys. We got about 20 minutes left on the timer for the beef in the oven. I'm just gonna roll off of that timer for our donuts proofing first. But yeah, we got to prep a pan for frying those. Let's finish off our strawberry cherry filling together. Should be a bit cooled now. And then we got to add some vanilla and taste it. And then we'll scoop it out into a bowl, put it into the fridge so it can cool off. And then we already set up from earlier our piping bag with just a plain tip for that to go into to stuff the donuts once they're baked. Get our spoon back here. Yeah, that looks so good now. Whoa. So the only thing I haven't put in yet was a touch of vanilla, so let's do that. This stuff is so thick. And then you don't want it all to come out at one time. Okay. A little teaspoon of vanilla paste. done and done. I think we might check that oven earlier. We'll just check it right after this, just because our pieces of beef aren't that large. So I feel like they're gonna cook pretty quick. So we put the vanilla in after things are typically cooked, if it is in the recipe, just to preserve that really nice floral flavor. So if you add it at the beginning, if your vanilla has a lot of alcohol in there, well, it's gonna cook out. You won't taste it as much. It's like perfect. The tart strawberry with the tart cherry, it really is making me salivate too. Like, holy smokes. What's gonna be the best to put that in the fridge? Ah, attack of the fan. Maybe just like a metal bowl. Or this small one. I think it will fit in here. Whoa. Scrape the sides. Almost just want to add some water. Get all that syrup out later on. Wow, that color is so nice and red and deep. I'm not going to worry about the bowl cracking in the fridge. It's not too hot anymore, the mixture. If it was still steaming hot, I wouldn't suggest the glass bowl. But that's a-okay. How's our stuff rising? Yeah, they're rising up. Cool. It's looking good. Okay, beef checking time. Yes, add whiskey, make a cocktail, or whatever alcohol you want. I would probably do gin. But I don't have any gin. It smells so good. Like making my nose run. Okay, steamy things. Nom. Where's our tongs here? I'm gonna say this is probably good, guys, just judging by how it's looking. Holy. Feels like it's all cooked through. Yeah, we're good. So that would have been less time for tri-tip chunks like that then. We're at the 45-minute from our hour timer now. So we probably could have gotten away with getting this done in like 30 minutes or so. Let's get a cutting board. These can rest on and then be sliced after. Also, now that that is out of the oven, guess we can turn it off. We're done with that. So we're not baking the donuts in the oven at all. This has to now get strained, and we're going to keep that broth and then cook the peppers into it. And then let's strain this into a pot that's big enough to also hold the meat when we have to reheat it in there with the broth and the peppers and everything. Hi, JD Cakes, welcome. Pam Putch, 2258. Do you have a story when people were walking in line, someone suddenly stopped walking and all the people bumped into each other? I don't think so. I don't think I have any stories like that. Do you? Get rid of these. And then now, if we get this oven maybe cooled a bit, we can use it to help proof the donuts. Let's open this up a bit. I'll get a fine mesh strainer. I bet there's so much flavor inside of this broth now. My strainer's here. A medium pot. 'Tis the season for braising, guys. Once it gets cold like this, I start getting into soups, casseroles, lots of braised dishes. Slide the lid out of there too. Okay, so there's that. The lid is really hot, right? So we gotta put it somewhere safe. And look at how much like liquid evaporated too in that time. So good thing we added extra. The other thing I'm wondering is how good the veggies are gonna be to snack on. Let's scrape all that stuff out. We still got our spoon. Celandon Bleu, thanks for the follow. Celadon? I guess we're done with that pan now. Put it in the sink. I'm gonna pour those into a bowl for snacks. Or just put the whole strainer actually together. And there's not that much liquid in here. So I might add more broth. Because we gotta cook the peppers in it and then reheat the beef too. But the liquid we do have looks so good. Mary says early 80s or late 70s commercials. Time to make the donuts. Was that a Dunkin' reference? You're asking if anyone else remembers? Grab a spoon. Let's taste the liquid here. Wow, the color of it looks so nice. Whoa. Mmm. It's like sweet from the veggies. There's a little bit of spice, I will say, from the chili flakes, but it's like there and then it's gone. So it cuts through the richness really well. Rinse off our spoon now that everything is strained out. No bits allowed. Grab a little bit more of this. To pour in. Probably want like an inch or so worth in the pot. Yay! That looks better. Mish, thank you. You're silly. I think we should get that simmering before we put the peppers in, and I thought we would just cook it with the lid on for the peppers. Move this stuff over. We're doing it, guys. Might do a little switcheroo here. And then, just for deep frying, guys, is what I'm thinking about right now. What's gonna be easiest? What's gonna work the best? I usually do it in this green pot. That actually might work really good. Because it's not round. You guys can see me in the corner there. Perfect. Dig out the old faithful. I think the last time we used this, we might have made beignets in it. It's so dark. I don't even care. We were actually talking about getting rid of that one. So this is our cheapest enamel cast iron that we own, and also the first one we ever bought. Actually, we only spent like $30 on this thing, and now you can see with the money that we spent, wasn't very much, how it looks like over the years. And like, you guys know how I cook. I don't burn things, definitely not often, but that's like me scrubbing and scrubbing with barkeepers friends, and that's just how like the surface looks after you like cook a pork shoulder or something in there. It's kind of weird, I will be honest. Okay, I am turning on, sorry, wrong one, the pot in the front here. We're just gonna lid it, bring it up to a simmer, and then we will dunk our peppers in to get them cooked. Once our beef cools off a bit more, we'll slice it, and then all we gotta do is heat the beef back up in there with the peppers right before we're ready to eat the sandwich. So currently working on getting our donuts rising, which they're looking pretty good. Should be closer to about an inch tall. This might take a little bit of time, but next we're gonna set up our little deep fry station back here. I'm only gonna go like an inch of oil. That will be lots. Because donuts don't get submerged really, they just get flipped over. So before we turn that on, which is not gonna happen until we think we're about 20 minutes away from needing the oil hot, we're gonna get our thermometer so that we can read the temperature of that oil so we don't burn it. And so it's also not too cool. So usually like baked goods fry a little bit lower than something like chicken wings. So I'll go try to keep it around 350 Fahrenheit. Not too much higher than that. Let's put this away. I need to shred a little bit of cheese still. And then we also have to cut open our bun. So let's bring that over. And then I think we're pretty much there. Big old buns. Also nice and like soft ones. Oh, that one feels so good. We got the buns. Actually, I was gonna maybe season the broth back there, but maybe we'll wait till the beef and stuff is dunked in. See how it tastes. Do a tester piece. So crusty but soft buns is what we want. So the crust can hold up and hold everything inside, but it also gets dunked into that broth on each end before it's served. So you don't want a super soft bun that's just gonna get soggy and fall apart on you. Nice. Freshly made this AM. Mickey says Christmas tree's going up tomorrow. It's about that time. I know like Europe and the UK is different because you guys don't really do Thanksgiving like we do. But it is always fun. Like I said, we still got to go out to a storage locker and get my little Christmas bin to set up. So strawberry cherry complete. It's cooling in the fridge. Literally just have to fry the donuts, fill them, and finish them in whatever sugar. The beef, we're letting it cool. The peppers are cut. We're heating up the broth to cook it in there. And then, yeah, we just heat the beef up with the peppers, pile it into the bun, cover it in cheese. Sounds great. We're close to being at the finish line. The cheese should be a melty style of cheese. Looking for my grater, I think it's over here. So whether it's just like a plain mozza, or I'm gonna go, like, what do you guys call it? Is it Colby Jack? But I do marble. It's like a white and orange mixed cheese. I think I've also seen processed cheese. Oh, and this. The one condiment that is cold. How do you say this, guys? Jardinera. So just a mixed pickled vegetable. We're going to chop a little bit of that up. And that gets put over the top of this sandwich. Like I said, I've never had this sandwich before, but it really looks good. And I had, like, most of the ingredients. I only bought the buns and the jardinera to make it today. I thought that was pretty good. So you just need enough cheese grated for 2 sandwiches. I like to grate it so that it melts nice and quick. But if you slice it thin enough, that works too. That's right, Bonk. There's been times, Mickey, where I celebrate both Thanksgivings. Because Canada's is in October around Sam's birthday, and then the American one is coming up on Thursday this week. So there's been many years on stream if it fell perfectly for us at a time in our lives that we celebrate both. Why not? Any holiday is an excuse to celebrate. It's also good to experience different cultures that way. Like we were saying again, probably this year, we're gonna do another like Japanese style Christmas where you do fried chicken and stuff like that. Simple but fun. I'll just get a small container for that, and I'll grab one for the pickles too, actually, while I'm back here. Right, Bonk? I think we'll make our own fried chicken
100%.
for it, like we did last time. But yeah, by all means, people can get it from KFC. But yeah, it was just so fun when we did that. Gots to do it again. This jar of jardinera was, I think, $3.50 from the store. So cauliflower, carrot, cucumber, red and green peppers. And I'll leave this one out if I find any. I won't chop it into there. There's celery.
Yes,
Samo will kill me. He'll say, what the heck? And then actually, before we chop that, might do a little double view here. Our broth for the peppers is up. So that's just on medium heat. And then we're just going to drop this into here to steam them and cook them through and get them to soak up all of that flavor. So I think since we're cooking the peppers in here, I will add a bit of seasoning right now, especially since we added extra broth. So let's just do some salt and pepper so it's not bland. Good pinch of salt. Give that a little stir around and then we'll put the lid on. Maybe set like a 5-minute timer to get those cooked. And then turn it off until we're ready for the beef. Bam. 5 minutes. Okay, back to me trying to open this jar. JD Cakes used to put provolone on your Italian beef sammies. This makes you miss home. I really love when food brings back memories like that. Actually, like what we're taught in culinary school is called like a flavor memory bank. So as you eat things in your life, you'll be able to recall the flavor of it. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. The flavor of it and like the memory that you remember the time that you ate it, right? But I want to use for a knife here, I'll just use my serrated one. If a jar is bad, just use the back of your knife. Hopefully go around a couple of times to break the seal. Nice. That's how easy that is after. Let's get a fork. So you don't want too much brine. A small cutting board in here, yes. And then I don't want the brine to soak into my wooden board either, so let's do it on plastic. On that side. Yummo, that's what it looks like. So clear, the brine. Cauliflower. Cucumbers. Carrots. Get like a little mix of everything. Remember, it's only for 2 sandwiches, so you don't need to do a ton. And like a couple pieces of each and you're good. The crunch, the acid, perfect. Jardinera. And then actually, while I'm in here, because I just saw the jar, I got this on Friday from my culinary school in the gift basket. I forgot to show you guys. Beet and horseradish fermented relish. I'm so intrigued to try that. You guys know I love beets. That speaks to my roots of Ukraine and Poland. Hey, this is gonna be really easy to chop up. The cauliflower is just gonna like fall apart probably. I don't want it too fine either. Kind of want to know what you're eating still. Not too small, not too big. What would I use the relish for, Bonk? I don't know yet, honestly. One interesting thing that I've done with like shaved pickled beets before was mix it into sauerkraut and make a Reuben sandwich. And then the sauerkraut goes purple on you. That's always good. Yeah, maybe bread topping. little carrot pieces. Gonna add nice color to the top of the sandwich too this way. With those mixed peppers and then all of this. Sweet. I didn't taste it yet. Whoa. It's just really sour and salty. Ugh. But it'll be good because there's a little bit of spice in the mix. And then with the cheese and stuff, probably perfect. I'm trying to think of like other things that I've ate pickled beet with. Usually I just eat it on the side of like meals. That's just like an Eastern European sort of thing to do, I think. Maybe with some sort of charcuterie or like a pressed sort of sandwich meat. All right, that's our 5 minutes. So now we'll just use a little spoon for this. Guys, I think the donuts are rising up and almost ready over there too. Sweet. So we got our little bit of like sandwich building station set up here. Go over to the stove. That was 5 minutes. Let's come in with our spoon. They're not falling apart soft, but I think I'm gonna turn it off because it will heat them up one more time when we put the sliced beef in there. I don't want them to go too soggy. I am a little bit picky about my peppers that way, but we'll keep the lid on. And then this, I can tell that they're rising. Holy smokes, it's going so good. So I'm gonna start heating up the oil while we finish off slicing the beef here. Just like a medium-high heat. We got the thermometer in there, so I'll just keep my eye on that. Okay, back over. Almost there, guys. Oh, Sundays are usually quick and easy, but today is a little bit different. Actually, I might do this. Perfect. We'll keep the tongs for dunking into the meat. And then I have a slicing knife here. This is my husband's. Move some of this out of the way. And we will start slicing. I can't really tell which way the meat grains are running right now. It is a bit stringy that way. So cut it in half. And then we're going to have it go the other way. So see this? That's what we want it to look like. Not if I show you this difference. See how this is going just this one way? Well, you don't see any of the protein strands if you cut it against the grain. And even if like this being fully cooked, it's so tender, you can see all the fat in there. Oh, same with that one too. It might be a little bit hard, but I got a weird cut of tri-tip, so I kind of had a feeling I would have to do this with it. And then for slicing, they said like only about 1/2 inch thick, which I thought it might be a bit chewy if we did it like that. So I'm just doing it a touch thinner. How's this one too? It looks like it's going the wrong way. Well, maybe not actually. That looks good, see? So Bonk was saying earlier, when you slice the tri-tip, pay attention to the meat grains and which way they're facing. Otherwise, it can be really, really chewy. It doesn't look very appetizing like this to start, does it? Trim off a little bit of that connective tissue that we left on to cook with. But I think once we dunk this, get it softened back up. Is that facing the right way? Not really. It'll melt in your mouth. And so then it's also really important when we do reheat this meat that it's not too high of a heat. So those are your strands that you don't want. Flip it on the other flat surface. That one was the other way. I will say with tri-tip it can be challenging because there are actually two different muscles in that cut of tri-tip. Completed though. Hey, we're still timing everything out really good. It's just 3 or after 3 o'clock now. Oil's heating up. Turn this a different way so it can really dunk in there. Perfect. We're like around 125 degrees Fahrenheit already, so we're doing good. Oh, so you did a poor man's like crock pot style beef stroganoff, and it ended up being a little bit stringy. Let me see if I can get rid of this battery view. There we go. Don't know why it's always so silly. Okay, so we got the rolls, the beef, the peppers are cooked, we got our cheese and jardinera. So potentially, like if we want to eat this and make the sandwich before we fry the donuts, we can. Sam, how are you feeling? He says yes. So let's turn this back on then. I'm not gonna go higher than medium. And then when this is back simmering again, we will dunk all of that beef back into the broth. That's cool. I've never done a stroganoff with tri-tip, but I bet it tastes so good using that cut of beef. Slide that in, and then for our donuts, when they start frying, we need something to scoop them out of the hot oil. And then we also need a metal rack to pop them onto a sheet pan so that they don't steam over themselves when they come out of the oil. So let's also set that up. It's called a spider. The spider scooper, because it looks like a spider web. The tri-tip gives deeper flavor. Even than chuck, hey? Wow. I think those are honestly like my two favorite beef cuts now that I've gotten older. Tri-tip and chuck. Just over the years have figured out so many different things to do with those two cuts. Okay, we're simmering again, guys. That did not take long. She was still nice and hot in there. We need the light again. Got the light in our life. Use our tongs to just guide that meat in. Turn it down just a bit. It should just like soften, soak up all those juices. Nestle it in with the peps. Cover it up. Let it sit a few moments. How did I season the peppers again? So it didn't say to do anything with the peppers. It said just like cut or tear them and then put it in the broth to cook with the beef. But when I put them into the broth, I put some salt and pepper over the top of them. Is there something else that I should do too that you think might be good for our first adventure here into the Chicago beef? Actually, I do like both of those plates. It's gonna be messy. Need something with a rim. Think it'll be good? Perfect. And then Mary's making meat marinara sauce, hamburger meat stroganoff, and chuck roast is in the slow cooker. You want all your dinner options done before Thanksgiving. You're so good at setting yourself up. I really have to say that. Give this a little zhuzh around. Oh, it is softening up. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. Yum. And that's why you always let your meat rest. Turns out better that way. Guys, we're at 225 Fahrenheit on the oil. We better go, go, go. The sun is going to be setting before I finish our food today. Nice thing about frying donuts though, like I said at the beginning of the stream, is that it's such a clean thing to deep fry. It's not messy where it's going to be putting oil all over. Mish, it's only 11 p.m. she says. We got lots of time still. Look at the simmering is happening. Excuse me. Okay. So this sandwich is also called an Italian beef. Originating in Chicago, made from thin slices of roast beef, simmered and served au jus on French bread. Common toppings are a choice between spicy jardinera or mild bell peppers, or both. The entire sandwich is traditionally dipped in the juice the meat is cooked in before being served with a side of French fries. I know in the recipe we're following, they just said to do each side, not the whole thing, so it'll just fall apart. But the sandwich traces back to Italian-American immigrants in Chicago as early as the 1930s. Although the exact origin, which I find a lot of times in North America, is unknown. The sandwich gradually grew in popularity and was widely eaten in the city by the 1970s and 1980s. And obviously the sandwich saw a substantial rise in popularity upon the release of the television show The Bear. So the sandwich can be either ordered sweet with grilled or boiled peppers, or hot with a spicy form of the pickles that we're using today. I think we're good with this simmering. Oil's almost at 300 anyways, so let's come over with this and we shall assemble. And then we'll have a few bites. And then as we fry the donuts, I'll probably finish my sandwich. I'm glad I put the bit of chili flakes in the braise because that made the meat spicy, which I like. So this is how it looks, guys. Pretty nice and simple. Got our plates over here. Just gonna now like even out the temp of our oil. I had it medium high to get it kind of cranking. Go a little bit lower down to medium. Avengers, assemble! I thought we would only have enough meat for 2 sandwiches, but it looks like we ended up with way more. Move that over. I think we should just build it like in the plates, because it's gonna be messy and juicy. Let me fit this one in one at a time. Samo, do you just want the beef with the pickles and cheese? Or you want a couple of the peps?
I'll do a couple of the peppers.
Okay. He's going for it, guys. I know he's not a big pepper guy, but he's doing it for you. It really looks like they like pile it up. You always need enough meat to get through all the bread. There. That looks deadly. Make sure you can close it. Sweet. I'm gonna do... I think we should do the cheese on top next while it's still hot. You want to taste a piece of beef?
Sure. Would love to.
I'll put it over in this plate. And then you can tell me if it needs a bit more seasoning.
Salt.
A little bit of salt, he says. And then the pickles are a bit sour. I put the cheese on the meat though so it can melt. And then we're gonna close that up and give it a little dunkaroo. Ready, guys?
I'm ready.
Give it a smash. Boom. Boom. Samo is here. Are you gonna crush all of that, or should I just leave that one made? And yes, it's gonna be insanely hot. If you think it's too dry, I can give you a little dipper bowl of jus. Dipper bowl of jus. Now, there wasn't any like mayo or anything on the recipe to put inside of the sandwich. But I guess that's why it's supposed to be eaten like wet. He's going more pickles. That's good. The jus looks so good anyways. I'm glad you guys think it looks good because yeah, I've never made this. I think I just want a bite of that one, honestly. It looks huge. Okay. These are after a few bites. That actually looks insanely good. Bonk's not done with file transfers. No!
They did the whole sandwich in?
Mm-hmm. They just go like boom. And then out and then they wrap it up in like the foil like a donair. I like the creamy like versus all the other flavors like with the pickles and stuff. And the meat is really tender. Doesn't taste dry. I think personally I'd probably go the spicy option route. Get one spicy, one sweet. Jardinera, I just cut a little bit of the veggies up from the jardinera jar, but he added more. Some places just serve the bread slopped in the jus. It is really good, guys. Like, for how simple this is, I am happy. I don't know if I would love it without the cheese, but I'm just like someone who loves cheese on my sandwiches. I can't help it. We are registering just under 350 Fahrenheit. I'm gonna get this out because it's dirty. Our donuts have risen. Oh, look at them. They're actually gonna be perfect. What the heck? We got so much donuts on here. I'm thinking that we'll do like 3 or 4 at a time. I don't want to make it too hard to flip them over. And we made 13. It's Samo approved. I love beef dips. I also like Philly cheesesteaks. I think this is like a marriage of both of those together. I'm good because I'm about to do some frying here right away. Need a little bit more light in our life. Yes. Okay. Let's get these first couple in. And then the only other thing I have to do is fill up. Maybe Samo can help us. Oh, no. It'll get dirty, I feel. We just gotta fill up our piping bag with some of our strawberry cherry jam that we made earlier. So you can do it with sausage? So I've not heard of that. What type of sausage did they use? Like an actual cased one? Or is the sausage loose? Holy, they're so fluffy, guys. I can barely pick them up. I'm kind of scared. Are they gonna deflate? Let's see. I'm dunking it in. The other side might look funny, but I think we're good. We're at 350 Fahrenheit. These are so soft.
Hot Italian sausage.
Okay, so hot Italian, that would be delicious. They're kind of deflating as I pick them up. Let's see how it turns out. And then on this side over here, I'm actually going to switch this maybe so that these don't get too much warmer. We got our cooling rack with our scoop. And then usually once they stop bubbling after you put them in, it's time to flip. Can we flip? Thank you. So I would not go any hotter. Let me turn this a bit down now. Than 350. We got the oil equalized. You put your recipe for crock pot beef stroganoff, crotch pot, in the Discord.
Crock pot.
It's crotch pot season. What can I say? Are we doing sugar or powdered? No, we probably have to do just regular sugar because the powdered is just going to melt anyways. If you would like to get a little bowl with that for when we finish this. And then the other one I'll do is I got to clear off the cutting board, guys. We made a mess today. Is this almost done? That was like almost too hot for the oil temp. Typically though, would suggest like frying one donut first until you're happy with the oil temp. And then finishing with the rest. Judging by this donut recipe, I don't think it's gonna be my favorite. I might be wrong. Haven't tasted it yet, but just looking at how it's frying up, looks a little bit weird to some other ones that I've tried. I've never put honey into the dough for donuts, so I don't know if that's making it go a little bit darker with the higher sugar content, but maybe something to be aware of. The other one is I wouldn't roll them out to that thin before you portion them, because I feel like now they might have overproofed a bit. So if you want nice, fluffy, thick donuts, don't go too thin. We're frying, Mish. You were out with the Albert. He's out hunting hedgehoggies. It's frying so quick. But I think that we lowered the oil temp slightly, which is perfect. You can see where my finger pokes in when I go to drop the donuts into the fat. That's why that's white on top there. It's a little bit sag. Hedgehogs hibernate? I didn't know this. You posted that recipe 3 years ago, Bonk? Sam will take one for the team, for the ugly donuts. Albert? I'm doing one more flip to finish the other side. Maybe it won't look as funny. What does Samo say? I heard an so they can't be that bad. It's perfect? Oh man. Sometimes I'm super critical. He's got an angry look on his face, and that's something that happens when he actually is quite enjoying himself. I don't know if anybody else does that. 2 at a time, baby. Bite-sized donuts. Not donut holes, they're just bite-sized. 3 biters. They're frying so quick, this is fun. Anybody in here ever worked at a donut shop? Sam says money recipe, even if they overproofed a bit. They didn't?
No.
I think maybe I got them just a little bit too warm sitting on there. But yeah, I guess they didn't fall, so. Don't think I can fit one more, but that is what we have left. Just all the brain cells are focused on chewing and tasting. That's where the angry look comes from. And then I have, oh my gosh, the ones that we like cut into small pieces on the board. They're like little pockets. I don't know if you can see if I put the board there. They seriously look like little Timbits. We'll dunk those in afterwards. Okay, let's flip these. Like I said, oh, okay, the oil really went low. Low? 325? I guess better not dark than too dark. I thought medium was going to be too high because it was going closer to like 360. But then when I turned it 1 notch down, it went too low. That's why deep fryers are the best. Set the temperature, it'll keep it there for you. Bob says, I was 1 casing short of finishing all the sausages, so you're just going to soak 1 more. Nice. You got this, Barbarino. So then you're gonna make a sausage pasta tonight with it? Amp, my sister's kids all do not like donuts, and she is like, where did I go wrong? I would ask the same. I don't think we would get along. All of my people in my life, they love donuts. Hi, Blitz. Mish, your sister's boy, doesn't like chocolate? How do you not like chocolate? Okay, now we're rolling again. Like, all different forms of chocolate are a no-go? That sounds crazy. This one just like floating in the middle here on its own. Kind of funny. Can I flip this one back over? See how nice and calm the oil is when you fry donuts? It's not terrifying like dropping chicken wings in. Yeah, see, some of these other ones got a little bit flattened. He will not eat any chocolate. He's 14. Mish, throw him out. That's it. Where does our light keep going? Why are you doing this to me? You're plugged in. Be good, please. Samo. Okay, last donut round. Going in. Take this cloth away so I don't get it covered in oil. Boom. You had 2 peanut butter and jelly Uncrustables, and now you're sick with everything. Oh no. I've never bought into that Uncrustable trend. Like, what's wrong with the crust? Mary, just crushing a apple pie too. Okay, so next weekend, Mary's actually gonna stream for all of us. Ah! Hello, welcome. That's a new name, Snot Rocket. Thanks for the raid. Thanks as well. It is my partner anniversary this weekend. So thanks for being here. We're just finished up frying our donuts. I hope you're all doing A-okay. And then we're gonna fill them with our strawberry cherry filling and call it a day. We already tasted the Chicago beef sandwich. Is it completely crushed? Yes. The first one is gone. It was here and now it's in the bellies. Giggity gang, hello. What do you guys do over there on the Snot Rocket stream? I often cook, but sometimes I also play Lego. So if you like that, you can check out our VOD from yesterday. We built, actually, just above the fridge here in the kitchen, the holiday wreath. That was super fun. Thank you so much, Snot Rocket. Thanks for bringing your crew over here. Thanks, Mary. You just oogle snotty. Love it. The last donut to rule them all? Ah, it's so hot. Don't burn your finger, but it doesn't want to flip over. Do it. Snot Rocket made an apple pie today, but also you love the bear. Finally, someone, because most of my community members, I'm calling them out, no one really watched that show. I'm a chef though, and also my husband's a chef, so that was really fun for us to watch. So these donuts are from episode 7 in the first season. I forget, like, I guess the Italian beef sandwich is probably from the whole first season. What everything is based around. Okay, our last little bitlies here that I've proofed on this side. They're a little bit floury still, but I'm not gonna worry. So all of the like pieces from in between the donuts that we cut, we just cut them into smaller dough bits, let them proof still, and now we're gonna fry them up. And my chat said it looked like a donut puzzle that we could build afterwards. It's Laurence. How is your, what was it? Come over at 2 p.m. for baked goods. Well, now you're here, and we also have baked goods. Can we fit them all? I have one more. That worked so good. That's all of the pieces. So we got 13 donuts, baker's dozen, and then all of this. Oh, so that's how it works. It's bribe you with baking goods and then help the older people set the TV up. I see. I hope everything went good though, Lauren. Sounds like you had fun. If we don't help them, who will? Really? The little donut hole doesn't look like it got too dense. I guess we'll see when we try it. The way that these pieces fried up, I'm loving it. The sharp pieces are a little bit dangerous looking. Be careful. That's so cute. She wanted to watch shows on Paramount Plus, but didn't want to pay. But then we gotta explain to them, yeah, it doesn't really work like that. Unless you want to be, what, illegal? An illegal citizen? I'm gonna turn this oil pot off now since we're almost done. Flip that baby back over. And now, make her sail the 7 seas. Mish. Grabbing a container for us to fill our piping bag. And we need a spoon. We're almost good. We did make little beignets, hey Bonk? Scoop them out. So now we'll let those ones cool, and then later we'll dust them with some powdered sugar. So you can't do the sugar really right out of the fryer, it just melts. Melts into a mess. Nice clean frying though. Gotta love that. I love our pile on this sheet pan too. Okay, we're done over there, guys. Let's come on over. Spiders are the best. I don't care what anyone says. Laurence, I believe, meal redeemed yesterday, Mish. Was that yesterday? I was like hurting yesterday. But we made it through, nonetheless. Flying taters, is that what they are? Okay, so filling piping bag. Flip over the top so you have something to hold on to and also not get the top edge messy. And then usually I will like flip over this part and just lay it down. I'm putting it in this container. And that way the filling doesn't come out as you put it into the bag. Now we'll grab a spoon. Get some of our homemade, oh, look at that now that it's cooled off. My good God, this is gonna be so good. the texture. Homemade strawberry and tart cherry filling. Oh, I'm salivating. And then I have a little bowl in front of me here with just some plain white sugar to dunk after we do some filling inside. That should be good. Gather this up. Don't unflip the bottom yet. Deep fried cinnamon and brown sugar biscuits with vanilla ice cream. Your grandma made it? Yum. Okay, which one? I think this one looks so dang good. It's hot still though. Well, that one's pretty nice and cool. Same with this one. So we just have to make a little slit into the side. You can use our paring knife. That's gonna fit the piping tip. And like if there's a spot like this in the side of the donut where it's kind of indented already, that's where I would go. That way you can kind of hide where you fill. I can't recall ever making jam donuts like this in my life, so if this goes a little bit haywire, enjoy. Mish wants the small crispy ones. Those would be so good tossed in cinnamon sugar. Okay, so I twisted the bottom of the piping bag. Now we got the filling coming out. See? Ah! How is this gonna work? Get it in there. Now I can't barely twist it. This has to be a one-person thing. Okay, I'm squeezing. Whoa! Squeeze until it comes out, I guess. Mish, why wouldn't you make a joke about that? Look at this. There's shit coming out. It's going everywhere. Chat, help. We need hands. Where's the tip? In my hand, Mary. In my hand. I don't have a plastic piping bag, Bonky. But that is, I think, what would work good. Because this, a little bit scary, but I'm not going to get too concerned over it. It's not like I own a donut shop. Basically just holding this and kind of feeling where the weight is distributing. I was saying earlier how I hate when donuts are like half filled. But honestly, I don't know how these are gonna go. They are really crispy and fluffy though. Just don't be scared, just shove it in, that's all I'm gonna say. Thank gosh they're not the biggest donuts ever, because that would be even more difficult to try to complete right now. Kind of like hollowing out the center with the paring knife as I make the slit too. Giggity! This is the perfect stream for you to come into. Giggity! So just hold it this way, right? Because we want the filling to go down with the gravity. And then I just slowly squeeze until I start to see the red on the outside. What do we got? Four filled donuts? Keep going. I'm not going to stop because my hands are already dirty. Bonk. You're like, it's not often we get to joke here about these things. We haven't had a Feral Friday stream in so long. I think we all need this in our life today. You're welcome. It's looking very festive, actually. My hands are covered in, like, syrup from the jam stuff. I know, right? It's usually Fridays, but now it's turned into Sundays. What are you doing to me?
Oh, there's a spoon.
Can you just eat? You don't want this donut that I made. Of all the effort that I'm putting in, and he just spoons it on top. Cookie, welcome in. We are finishing the stream. We made one deadly Italian beef sandwich. I'm gonna make the rest of mine afterwards.
Which one is mine that I can have?
Any of them. Any of the filled ones.
Any of the filled
I'm
ones?
just filling them.
Okay.
And then if you want to do a dunk in sugar and then show them.
I'll dunk in sugar and show.
Thanks so much. Cookie, hope you're having a good weekend. We're having fun in here today. Have you watched The Bear at all? I feel like out of anyone, maybe you have. Hey! Show it closer. Fuck yeah! I made jam donuts. So if I can do it, so can all of you.
All the way through.
It actually went all the way through. Cookie is my last hope. Shh, Mish. Cookie watched most of the first season, but he has a lot to catch up on. Hey, that's okay. You're the only one. That's a big strawberry stuck in there. Squeeze it out. We're committing. There we go. Oh. Okay, I don't want to fill this back up because it's so dang messy. I can't handle it. My senses. I am overstimulated. And Mary watched the first season. Wait, Bob. So I made a mean face too when I was happy with the food.
See?
Okay. That's how much filling I have left though. I'm actually so happy. Plus this on like ice cream to use up. Let's not even go there.
Waffles?
Sam says waffles, please. This recipe, I was worried when I went to fry it and stuff. I thought maybe it overproofed, but so far I think we're good. And if anyone here, yeah, Cookie posted the recipe link. If you guys want to make these for yourselves, please do put the effort in. Okay, it's gonna get messy there. Maybe I'll do that one last. So then we just go dunk, dunk each side. It wasn't too sweet with the sugar. I will say it was like perfect. The filling is nice and tart. So we put lemon juice in there too. Like, whoa. A labor of love, but every time I make donuts at home, I always say it's definitely worth it. Mish says, do you think these will travel well to Denmark? Asking for a friend. I wonder, I'd have to like pack the donuts by themselves and have the filling separate in like, I'd have to can it and send you a jar of the filling to put in the donut. That'd maybe be the only way. Leaky balls on the airplane. Who sent those leaky balls all the way over? Those dang Canadians. Thanks for the bitlies, my friends. Appreciate all of the love and support on all of the streams. This is our 4th year being partner on Twitch, which is nuts. And then in January, I think that'll be starting our 7th year of streaming on Twitch, guys. Yay! Where did I put my phone today? Did I just leave it over there?
Yep, it's over here.
I gotta take a photo, friends, before we finish off. And yeah, Sundays are usually quick and easy, but I'm happy that some of you decided to pop in late. Glad that we're still on. Frick, those turned out. Okay, I'm gonna have one more bite of this messy one here before we finish. Whoa. It's really light and fluffy, guys. Those did not turn out dense at all. Whoa. Walk away, put it down. Hi, journey of self-discovery. I'm so happy with how well I filled them. So when I put the paring knife in to make the little slit for the piping tip, I did like a little swipe just around the inside gently to like make space in between for the filling to go. Sometimes you have to like try to squeeze the piping tip too hard and then it all just sploots everywhere throughout it. But yeah, that's what we made. Filling to donut ratio, very much into. I got sugar all over my face, so I would say that was a successful donuting. Okay. Let's see, we're wrapping up now, my wonderful people. Who are we gonna go raid? I don't think we got any requests today, but if anyone has suggestions of somebody that is on, by all means, feel free to share. But usually on Sundays, we raid Chef Steve. Mish. John is on, Kanara's on. John was in here earlier. Maybe we'll do that. But we usually try to raid into fellow food and drink streamers. What's Kanara doing? Loaded garlic bread? That sounds good. I've never had random sounds come through the sink like that before. Hopefully we're not backing up. Also, I guess nothing happened with the fire truck, hey Samo?
No, they went away.
Where is John? Why don't I see his thing on? Is he not in food and drink? Thanks, Mr. Nobody. Okay, guys, just while I'm finishing up here, so I'll be back again next Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific, as well as Saturday and Sunday at those times. Thank you so much, White Dove. I'm glad you guys had fun today. A longer Sunday, but I think we needed it after missing Friday altogether. Okay, Chef John Leung, fellow Canadian as well, so love to show the support there. Nice, his channel is also intended for mature audiences. Not that we do anything too crazy here. Okay, guys, don't work too hard this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with us these last couple of days. I can't believe how good these turned out. Like, what the heck? If you missed yesterday, check back on the VOD. And if you missed what I did on Friday, pop into Discord into food photos and you'll see what I was working on at an event at my culinary school. Oh, yeah. And guys, have a wonderful Thanksgiving on Thursday to our American friends. Let me know if you want me to cook anything, but I'm sure you guys will be turkeyed out by then. Okay, love y'all. Be safe out there. Thank you for all of your contributions to our stream, and I'll see you next time. Bye!